Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dungeon Sphere. It is now 8 o'clock Eastern / 7 p.m. Central, which means it is time to play some Dungeon Sphere. But before we get started, I would like to say a few things. First, notice our new overlay. It's really cool. I got really high one time, and I made it.
One time.
Yeah,
just once.
So, I hope everyone enjoys it.
You guys miss Dev telling you how high you got, and then he just did random shit.
I do that all the time. It's one of my favorite things.
I wish I was that productive high, so.
Yeah, and it looks pretty good. I'm looking at it right now. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It seems so clean.
We looking good.
Dev, you have done a good job.
Thank you. And then, I also would like to say another thing. Let's have a moment of silence for our first limited series finishing.
A moment of silence.
A moment of silence. In remembrance for a great limited series. Because it will be missed.
And this is where normally Sarah McLachlan would play, but we can't for copyright reasons. But just imagine In the Arms of the Angel is playing over a slideshow right now.
That's a different song. It's like Marvin
Okay,
Gaye.
moment of silence is over. And now we're announcing the new show, which is Melissa continuing the campaign.
Yes.
In Res Lore, the Color Guard Chronicles. Whatever that means.
Does that mean we'll see a return of the Breakfast Brigade?
Breakfast Brigade.
Kobolds and Carnivals is canon.
Yes.
And
so
to a lesser extent, the birthday one as well, but that was like in a completely different town, so
it still happen, you know.
But yeah.
So yes. Anyway, to sum up the craziness that I just said, the limited series of Fountains of Fessa Passara has ended on Monday, but is being replaced by Res Lore, Color Guard Chronicles, also run by Melissa in the same world.
Starting in May at some point, assuming we can coordinate schedules well enough.
Is it all the same people?
Minus Guy plus Dev.
Okay, cool.
And I'm playing Pipper and Timothy's Babio Spirocaller.
Oh, what a name.
Yeah. It is not... Yeah. I've had this character for a long time. I'm very excited to play him now. Anyway, other than that, next announcement is that we are always looking for new show ideas, new showrunners, new players, cast members, crew members. So if you're watching this now or in the future and you would like to be involved, reach out. Or find us on Twitter, reach out that way, or join our Discord. And I don't know if someone wants to put the Discord invite link.
Do we have the command? Let's see.
I
Nope.
don't know if we have a command. Nope. We'll do that. Pip's art tonight. Sick. So, I'll do that right now, actually. Let's make it so that it never expires.
We also do have another very exciting announcement.
The 1-year anniversary.
It's been a whole year. We didn't get to tell you guys when it actually happened because we were on a hiatus.
That is correct.
But yeah, 3/21 was the start of Dungeon Sphere.
I thought you were gonna say. I thought you were gonna say it's the 8-year anniversary of when I had meningitis.
I wouldn't know that. It's not relevant.
It's also
to
a very
channel.
specific anniversary.
Yay, meningitis.
It doesn't matter.
Just kidding.
I'm super excited about 1 year, guys.
No, we did. We've done well.
We've known each other for 1 year.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I've known Wyatt for a while before.
That's true. That's true. You've all put up with me for a whole year.
Even longer for some of us.
Yeah, some of you are the lucky ones. I won't tell you who is the lucky ones in this scenario. So anyway, I think that's pretty much all that we have. Stay tuned for more, but you know, we're just trying to do some cool things and have fun. That's all that matters to us. We just want to have fun. This is our little escape from reality.
Don't bust into Queen. Also copyrighted.
Oh, there goes.
just a night of think of this song because we're all thinking of it, but we can't play it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like the worst
Anyway.
games of like guess
If you're
what
curious,
I'm
you can
thinking
just
of.
go to YouTube and look it up, and then have the YouTube play in the background while we're playing, talking and whatnot.
Oh, that'll be a cacophony of beautiful things.
Cacophony. So now I think it is time to play Dungeon Sphere.
Woo!
Last time,
I'm excited we're back, okay?
I'm very excited to be
Just
back.
me.
I did my
Angry.
woo fist.
Last time, your woo fist. what is a woo fist?
Look, I'm trying to do a lot of things right now.
I'm gonna create a
Like write
T-shirt.
down several notes.
I'm gonna create a T-shirt that says my woo fist, and it's gonna look like that.
That's Moxie's new signature move.
Woo! Magic. Anyway,
That's my new signature move.
last time on Dungeon Sphere, the team met their not met. Okay, you met the ice,
Off to a
the
great
queen.
start.
You met the gnome queen, but you didn't really meet her. She just sort of was there. So you kind of met her, but she's also inhabiting Vrexil's body. So you sort of did meet her when she half possessed Vrexil, and there was some craziness that went with that. But most of the party was agreeing we should probably get out of here. But they took books, they took grenades, one grenade specifically. That's important for later. And
For later.
And yeah, so the party went to go meet their crew and captain on the beach. However, there was a new bridge on the beach that made its way to a gate/door. However, the Vrexil situation and the gnome situation felt more of a priority. So they went onto the main island to go find a little village of gnome farmers who seemed to be remnants from the lost society of gnomes that had vanished. And they seemed happy. They seemed good, peaceful even. Trusting of strangers, oddly enough. But, you know, if no one's ever presented danger to you, why would you think they're dangerous? Discovered
We're
a
also
little
really
bit.
nice.
Sometimes.
We're delightful always. The other teams are just jerks who can't stand us.
You learn
Yeah.
some more information about the gnomes and the gnomes of this world, what this world is, and sort of maybe like a timeline. And then you decided it was time to go back, leave these people in peace, don't subjugate them underneath the Queen's rule, and then go through the door to face the Exit Guardian, which turned out to be a giant sea dragon. The giant sea dragon was under the water, so no one could see it. So Moxie was like, oh, well, the door's right there. So Moxie ran to the door, and the sea dragon burst out of the ocean and then shot this blast of steaming, watery breath. No, it did that later. First, I think it bit Moxie and started like wrapping around, and yeah, I think you got
she got
yeah.
Moxie.
classic
Anaconda.
Moxie gonna Moxie. Anaconda.
So
What a movie.
what a movie. There were other things that you had to deal with, specifically sea lions, but they were actually just lions made out of kelp and monster parts. And everything seemed to be going all right, but then a new friend appeared, a bone claw, which if you don't know what a bone claw is, it is a failed lich. And it appears to be calling Umbran Master, saying, Master, I'm coming, blah. Let me help you. Yeah. But Umbran was like, yeah, so I have a bone claw now, and it's gonna kill everyone but me. And
We
so,
don't know
in
that yet.
a little bit of a pickle, Vrexil came up with a plan. Vrexil, what was your plan again? I can't remember.
All right, I'm gonna put a little skepticism on the things were going fine part of that description.
Yeah, you really glossed over some not fine things.
There were a few intermediary steps,
It might have been.
which informed the plan of, okay, things are all going to hell.
And
So
and a handbasket.
Yeah, and so Vrexil took out the aforementioned grenade, which has the wonderfully pleasant trait that, if subject to teleportation magic, explodes twice. It explodes where you teleported from and where you teleport to. So Vrexil said,
Isn't it called like the Nomengard grenade? Yep.
The Nomengard grenade. So Vrexil started at the large monster's feet, basically, or where it was coming out of the water, and teleported up to its head. And in a glorious explosion of fireballs and lightning bolts and butterflies,
And coins.
And gems.
Yeah, that's right, coins and gems.
I did write all of that down.
Yeah,
6 fireballs, 6 lightning bolts. It was no big.
Into a million tiny pieces.
Oh, and a meadow appeared.
Yes, that's true. That's very nice.
It was a meadow. It was a nice little resting bed for where Vrexil is dying.
Yeah.
We had to bury
His body to hit the
arm.
floor.
His arm actually, when this happened, you saw his arm almost like a boomerang into the ocean.
Oh no.
If it was a boomerang, it would have come back,
to
Dev.
try to, like, stick it to him, but...
If you've ever
It's
thrown
like a
a boomerang, you know that it doesn't actually come right back to you unless you're a pro. And technically, you don't want it coming right back to you because that's a lot of force. You want it to go like right around you. Anyway, a shark comes up and eats the arm and then
This
swims
has
off.
been boomerang.
I don't think you said that part last time.
There's just a little bit of extra flavor for our first night back.
Oh boy.
And so, thus, you all carry the Vrexil across the threshold of the door, the exit, after inserting all... Oh no, you inserted all 4 keys to the previous door. This door just opens. And you got the prize in the treasure chest, which is always useful for that level and not useful for the next level, in a way. And then, you drank from a potion. You each drank from a potion. And you gained 3 levels. And then a door opens in the far end. Oh, you're all fully healed, as if you took a long rest already with the effects of the potion. And there's a door that leads into the resort.
We've already stepped through, I'm pretty sure.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
Inside, you see a lush resort. It's similar to the last one, except it appears to be a little bit grander, bigger, a lot more natural light pouring in, and a large section of beach. Not unsimilar to the time you spent in the checkpoint, but a lot more refined, private, lots of natural plants and rocks, and a swishing ocean that seems to stretch out far from you. It seems to be a beach resort, island beach resort kind of thing. And Quentin, is there before you. He had already directed you to drink the potions, and now he's just waiting for you all to have your eyes get a chance to adapt, take it all in. And he's just standing there with his hands clasped. Concerned look on his face.
Why is he so concerned?
What, you never seen a one-armed gnome? Jeez, there's some decorum.
Well, I mean, he looks fairly rough, and he doesn't have his arm, and I'm a little concerned as to how this came about. Hope you're okay, Vrexil.
Are you not watching our shows again?
I am very busy.
Canari like grabbed the hologram by his throat.
Oh, it's really Quentin right now.
Oh, Canari's going up and like grabbing his tie and bringing him down to her face.
What's wrong?
Let me be very clear. You're our sponsor. To sell us well, you should be aware of all of our abilities, all of our feats. We've been through a lot, and your station depends on us just as much as ours depends on yours.
Well, I have been getting you sponsors.
Wonderful. And Canari will let go of the tie. and just say, "Forgive me, I'm a little bit stressed."
I am informed of a lot. I don't have a lot of time to watch everything, but I do think I'd talk you up well to interested parties.
Great.
Now, would you all like to come inside with me? Sit down and then we can discuss the sponsors for today. I feel as though all of you might need a nice little sit.
Who's carrying Vrexil?
I was gonna say Vrexil has no armor, so Vrexil can't really do anything right now.
I can assume Moxie could have like just kind of picked him up.
I was
or
gonna
is
say,
helping
I
him.
think Braenna's
Or
got like
Braenna.
the chunks of the armor. That's
Yeah.
left.
She's just like grabbed all the armor, and Moxie's like, "Okay, I got it."
But she is also very, very quiet at the moment.
I mean, Canari would definitely like help carry Vrexil, but would have passed him off to Moxie just so she can rip into Quentin again.
I don't think Vrexil's a two gnome needing like to carry two people to carry him. He's just
Very much
That's one,
not
no.
so.
Well,
Yeah.
I said, I mean, Canari was holding him the last time when we were walking through the door, so she would have passed it off to Moxie.
Hold my gnome. Listen, you.
Hold
He's
my
lucky I
nose.
didn't cast a new spell on him. Jeez.
Quentin will turn and start leading the way into the resort. It's an open air resort. There are screen doors that you can shut for privacy when you get into places that would need privacy, such as the toilets, the showers, the bedrooms. And as a reminder, this isn't filmed, so you're good to do, say whatever you would like. And as normal, we have some training rooms that elongate the time that you spend here, if you would like. That is an option. And full kitchen. And here is the entryway lounge. And he takes you to a room that is almost a circle with two entrances, made of wood, a darker wood with a tree growing in the center and up. It's almost like a larger bonsai tree, but like big, really cool, really landscaped. And then there are a bunch of stones, but when you get closer to the stones, they're actually cushions that look like stones. And then there's a couple of other really comfortable chairs and seating around as well. And then a patch of grass, just actual grass. Very comforting, relaxing place. And you hear some wind chimes in the distance. That's my wind chime sound. And then some breeze comes through, some tweeting birds, and then you hear some soft instrumental music coming from somewhere.
I mean, this place is pretty comfortable looking.
It gets better as you go on. They assume that the more stress you accumulate, the more relaxative. That sounds like laxative. Relaxation needs to be pumped up
Relaxing.
for yeah.
The more
The
relaxing.
more they need to pump it up and make
Don't
sure
need to
that you are
pump
well
it too
taken
so
care of.
hard.
So, Quentin takes one of the stone pillows and just plops down.
Moxie will like kind of set Vrexil down and then sit down.
Same.
I have some updates for you. Take them as you will. First update is that you are the last place team to finish level 3. The good news is it doesn't quite matter in terms of pacing. The bad news is that the time that you get to spend here and this reward, he waves his hand and 3 potions of superior healing appear in the center of all of you. It's kind of like on this like little like really close to the ground table that has some arcane sigils and stuff on it. Each place got an additional day and an additional superior healing potion. So first place got 12 days, 12 or 13, and then an additional 9 or 10 superior healing potions. But then there's more good news. Everyone is seeing all of the things that you're doing, the extra things, the personal things, and you are now being seen as the underdog. And everybody loves an underdog. Isn't that right?
I guess.
Right.
I mean, I like the top of the dog better, but underside's cute too sometimes.
Right. And because of that, the underdog, there have been an outpouring of donations from non-sponsors. So just audience members and such that have been pouring in their appreciation for who you are, what you do. And so he waves his hand and 1,000 gold pieces appears on the table. I might have put in a little bit of my own coin to make it an even 1,000.
You do believe.
Almost
I
makes
just
me
like-
feel bad for yelling at you earlier.
I just like even numbers. It's so much easier to do the
But
balances
you
and the
didn't-
ledgers with
You
the
didn't need
1,000
to make
gold
it to be
pieces.
such a dick move. God, I
You-
was giving you the
you could
benefit of the
pretend.
doubt.
Truly, you could pretend you were doing it because you care.
Wants to roll an insight check.
Sure.
Got it.
I was like, Moxie would just go for it. Like, believe what he's saying, so.
30-20.
He's definitely using this as a wall, putting up a wall. You're thinking like, he maybe doesn't care so much about that as he thinks, as he's saying.
Canari just keeps it to herself for now.
Yeah,
Wow.
Umbran and Moxie just grill him.
Yeah, Umbran and Moxie are just like, okay, thanks.
Are you ready
Just
for
take
gifts?
the win.
Yeah,
Always.
Yeah.
This is my
Oh.
favorite part.
things. I want things.
First, a gift from the Sailors Union.
Sailors, oh, a delightful bunch.
He waves his hand and 300 gold pieces, a sack of it, and a crate of grapefruit appears on the table.
Oh, nice.
Fruit. More fruit.
They have a letter
Wonderful.
for you. He opens the letter. We're sorry we could not send you this grapefruit to fight scurvy during level 3, but hopefully it will help you fight scurvy moving forward.
It's kind of fun.
So thoughtful.
I am always low-key worried about scurvy, so.
They drew a tiny little picture of a ship too. He flips it over and you see that it has like a tiny little flag of like a little kraken.
Darling.
And then we have a gift from a I hope I say this right, a Dr. Igor Octavius Algaze. He seems to be impressed with your handling of the Oinoloth. And he has sent 1,000 gold pieces and a miniature wind-up replica of a beholder. Okay. And then on the table appears 1,000 gold pieces and a miniature wind-up replica of a beholder. If you wind him up, and you let him go, his eyes start moving around. They start spinning.
He's giving us a Happy Meal toy. I'm here for it. Moxie would probably be like, if no one wants that, I'll take it.
Add it to the menagerie.
Yeah. Yay.
My favorite
Next.
animals, beholders.
Yeah.
Next up, we have the Hellbridge Museum and Archives. They believe that this item will be of use to Umbran.
Mhm.
They wrote, "May this work in your favor. and he waves his hand, and a little sphere appears on the table.
Here's my third favorite shape. How did they know?
What's the
Oh,
first?
They don't really say much about it. It's just a small little sphere. They say that it could be useful.
Alright, I'm gonna take a minute to ponder this orb.
Yes. It's about 2 inches across, and it seems to be studded with these shards. They're
Love shards.
sort of like,
That's the
Dark
second
red.
favorite shape.
and it seems to be about the size of an eyeball.
God, fucking more eyeballs.
I missed an E in spelling eyeball.
And then next we have an anonymous donor. Oh my. This appears to be a letter praising.
It's from Dozer.
No, Dozer, nothing's wrong. What's here? Oh my god.
Things are wrong.
He wants to give us 1 million gold.
Sorry, I need to go comfort my dog. Ponder your orb.
I will ponder my orb.
It's a sick orb.
Hell yeah.
Does that mean I have time to do a little dice work? Because I definitely didn't do that yet.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go to D&D Beyond and type in orb and see what comes up. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Classic
While we're
sleuthing.
while we're waiting for
Orb.
Deb, next Monday
Mm.
will be a fun little recap episode for the Fountains of Essexara.
Yeah.
You can catch me, Yuri, and Melissa there. We start at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. Come hang out with the cast as we talk about all of the things that happen in
And as they try to get me to tell them what's going on, and I will refuse because we are still going to be playing in the world.
So that'll be a fun time.
I just
Thank
want
you.
to know what happened with Guy's whole backstory. Like,
Oh.
what is that?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me.
His backstory stuff may come out, but his front story stuff maybe not. We'll see. We might come back to that. It'll be cool.
I comforted Dozer.
Maybe some marble.
I put a blanket on him. He's looking a little concerned, but he's good now. I just love how his bark is like such a stereotypical dog bark. It sounds exactly like the kind of dog bark that like people would record and then use for like cartoons or whatever. Anyway, a letter praising the almighty Jerome.
Ugh.
Do we have a Jerome?
We know about Jerome.
And
Oh, right. That's the... Okay. I forgot his name. I'm so sorry, Senor Jerome.
No, don't speak to. He's already pompatuding enough.
Oh, okay.
He's apparently he believes that Jerome is the. What does it say here? Sorry, this is handwritten. It's very hard. The
Are they
Messiah.
not all handwritten?
Okay.
What
Fulfill
kind of weirdo sees a frog and is like, yeah, that frog's gonna save us all? It's a frog, man.
It says that he is the prophecy foretold. Anyway, he gave you 10 platinum pieces and a jar of flies.
10 platinum.
Wow.
You just hear the like buzzing, the faint buzzing of a jar.
I can't believe Jerome is the richest party member right now.
I know, right?
Damn.
Then there is a thank you note here from the Fellowship of Horticulturomancy. They say that you discovered a new
Horticulturomancy?
species. Horticulturomancy.
Okay,
Like,
that makes
like
more.
Horticulturomancy.
Horticulture. The cultivating a plant.
Horticulturomancy.
and Nancy, the lady who's doing it.
Horticulturomancy.
And Nancy, of spellcasting.
Man.
They say that You discovered a new species of plant monster. I believe they're referring to the seaweed that was spitting out undead. And they give you a bag of beans. Use these wisely, they say. I am very concerned for what you're gonna do with these beans.
Probably eat them. Yeah. Moxie's wondering how to turn it into the next drug she
Oh,
pawns
there's
off
a big
to
here,
everyone.
the big letters here on the back. Do not eat.
All right.
That just
Like
makes it
that's
worse.
gonna stop us.
Next, we have Lord Altavius Marimore Westrun of Claremont Valley Kingdom. I think that's on the other side of the world. But apparently he's a big fan. He says, let's play a game. I'll give you this potion. I will not tell you what it is. I've created a ward on it that prevents identification. Maybe you should drink it, maybe you shouldn't. Best wishes. And then he hands you this opaque potion bottle.
Can I make a quick potions check? for it?
You would
Can't be
have to,
identified, but magic, but can.
right? You would have to unstopper it and check at some point.
I will. Can I do that now, or are we terrified of it?
Moxie really wants to drink it, so
This is probably the safest place to inspect it.
I will roll for potions regardless.
Okay.
16 plus 4, 20. 22.
It's a glowing purple liquid that smells of sugar and plum, and it seems to be rare. It seems to have something to do with spell casting from the nature of the sound and the fizzle and the almost energy that comes off of it.
I think this might be best for Canari.
Sure. I'll just
Lastly, we have a gift from the Historical Society of Gnomology. And he waves his hand, and on the table appears what appears to be a children's pop-up book.
Expect no less from the gnomes.
And on the title of it is The Flying Gnomes. And I believe that is it for now.
I also just want to be clear that the 3 superior potions that we're getting from Quentin aren't the same as the ones we got last time, right? I wrote down in my thing that we got the Siren Song, 2,000 pieces of gold, and 3 superior healing potions. So this is like
Oh, that was in the
3.
chest. That was in.
Okay. I just
chest,
wanted.
yeah.
That's why I wanted to make sure.
Do we each have a superior healing right now? Is that what's going on?
No, there were only 3 total.
Yeah, but
Oh,
we also
you're saying-
got 3.
Yeah,
so we
yeah,
should
the
we have
other 3.
six,
So
yes.
you each would
In
have
total, so everyone
plus
has
1.
one.
And then someone should have a second one.
I
On their
think
person.
it's all safe to assume that the second goes to Moxie.
You're the speediest.
When she inevitably runs into danger once more.
I'm
Yeah.
just picturing you running around the battlefield, just like.
Yeah, I can just drop off potions to people now. So it's fine.
All right. I actually will be here with you the entire time if you need anything. And in 3 days' time, we will go over the rules for the next level.
Wait, I thought the rules were the same as the last dungeon.
They're trying something new this year.
What else is new?
Is that a rhetorical question?
No, I'm actually very curious. Anything else we should be aware of that's new?
Yes. Team Empyrean did replace the Braenna's cousin. And I believe that Team Treant also got a new member, as they had lost Trix and Slipskip to Team Nightcrawler.
So what teams are left? Or I guess which ones aren't here anymore? Because there's...
I can tell you each team that is here,
Okay.
that is still in the running.
Can you tell me what order? Can you tell me them in the order that they got to the level?
I can. Just give me a second to pull up the team names.
Because there's 10 of us, right?
So the first was obviously Team Hydra. You were aware of that. And then the next was Team Dragon. I believe you were also aware of that.
And they have an alliance, don't they?
They do. But as you might have been aware, alliances did not matter in terms of knowing knowledge of what comes next.
True. They at least could share information while they were there. So, and knowing Egg and how quickly he figured everything else out gives a pretty good impression that...
That egg.
We hate
Yeah.
him.
No, we
Team
do.
Genie was third.
Right.
Team Kraken was fourth. Team Phoenix was fifth. Team Nightwalker was a close sixth. Then it was Team Empyrean, Team Giant, then Team Treant. And then, lastly, Team Reaper.
Would
Yourselves.
have expected a better showing from Phoenix.
I'm surprised. I didn't realize how close Genie was to getting it when we talked to them last.
Now remember, while you are here, everything is for your use. And at any time, you can call upon a screen that will appear in front of you, and you can review anything that has happened in the Dungeon Sphere. Your team or any other teams. It'd be maybe good to know what you might be expecting from the other teams, if you catch my drift.
Okay.
I mean, sorry, my cat just like flew across the room like a demon.
Classic cats.
He's running laps.
It's just like, it's time for speed.
Yeah.
I have a need for speed right now.
Thank you, Quentin.
You're welcome. Now I'm going to go to my office. And then he stands up and he walks away. Whistles a sprightly tune. Sea shanty, maybe.
Oh, if they gave medals for being irritating, that man would be in the first place.
It's all a mask.
No, he's really irritating.
Yes,
No,
Moxie and I believe that he's just like that.
I am telling you, based on the read that I got, he's annoying to cover something else out.
Okay, well, whatever he's doing it for, it's irritating.
That's fair.
Very astutely put. Vrexil, how are you feeling?
Could someone hand me that book?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Someone hands you the book, but they hand it to the side that your arm has been blown off.
So
Which-
Moxie did it. Like, let's be real. She's
Moxie
the only one who'd be
throws
like,
it to him, like, here you go, bud.
yeah.
Which, speaking of, Dev, which side was that?
It is the left side.
Okay, we're in decent shape then. Vrexil is right-handed, so takes it and struggles a little to get it open, but not as much as we're the opposite tree. Just kind of smiles at the pop-up bits of it.
Thick pages, so that the paper can fold and unfold before you, and the first page is obviously the title repeated. There is no author name. And then you flip to the second page, or the next page. And it pops up, and there's a bunch of mountains with some homes inside of them. There once was an island of gnomes who had very mountainous homes. This is the queen reading it in your head.
Yeah, yeah.
Chances are we can still read, though.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Flip the page. At first, they didn't know how to get from peak to peak until the gnome queen began to speak. So then there's like a gnome queen up there with like whatever, and she seems to be speaking. Flip the page. Bridges were built and gliders were made, and their magics changed to help their crusade. So you see gliders, bridges, and then there's like a little like pull tab thing that lets little gnomes go up and down as if they're jumping. They could leap, they could jump, they could float into the sky, and the gnomes were filled with joy and pride. All a bunch of gnomes. Woohoo! The queen grew old and didn't want to go because there were things that her successor wouldn't know. So the queen is like old and frail. A royal decree was then declared which let the queen's brilliant mind be spared. A decree, scene. When the queen died and was sent to the grave, a ritual was performed, her memories saved, and into the mind of the successor was she placed. It doesn't, that's it. It doesn't rhyme any further.
Huh. I
Also,
assume
hello, I'm still here.
yeah. Uh-huh.
That was a little bit of a scary moment for us, wasn't it?
Yeah, so I assume the really old one here is you, right?
No. That was my great grandmother.
Uh-huh.
You can tell she's being serious.
Okay. That raises a lot of questions, actually. Okay, well, I guess we're gonna have a lot of getting to know each other to do.
I suppose. I still don't forgive you, though.
I'm heartbroken.
I will not be speaking to you for a time. Goodbye.
Anybody who looks at Vrexil just sees like a...
And you just feel as though this little like pressure in your head kind of like dim, and it's no longer there.
Vrexil will kind of just sit back and... Oh, nope. We'll just sort of...
The phantom pain's already getting to her.
Oh.
Sort of... Is there a forge here?
There
You know
must
that
be.
there's a forge. Each of the training rooms can conjure a forge for you if they want.
I think that's where I need to go right now. If anybody else is headed that way.
Yes, of course.
I can bring your stuff in you if you want.
Yeah. Vrexil kind of gives a little look over of like the charred and exploded bits.
To be
Armor.
I
split
didn't
up,
know what would be useful, so I just grabbed it all.
Thank you.
As much as we could. Stomach the fall to the sea.
Yeah.
Are you gonna do that thing?
Yeah. But I was just waiting.
Okay. He's going to the place.
Yeah, I know. I don't have to ask right now.
Oh, okay, you don't have to answer.
What?
Okay, well now
Hey,
I do.
I know your arm fell off and your armor's completely
Yeah, that's
broken
why I
and you
was
can't
like, I'm
move,
not
but
gonna
will
just
you
ask.
make me something?
I thought that
No,
was
I
the
wasn't gonna ask
plan.
that. No, I mean, yes, I had a plan, but anyway,
Okay.
at some point, well, no, because Moxie has
You don't have to do
questions,
it right
but
You don't
for
have to do it.
Vrexil, but he's busy. She'll come back another time.
Okay, no, you can go. Okay.
Are we including the 10 platinum in divvying up?
I added 2 to my character sheet.
Then I suppose.
You
Yeah,
each get
I
two
was
platinum.
gonna hold on to it for something good.
Okay.
I mean, of
So we're
course, we're
just-
welcome to share funds, but I feel like
You take my 2 pieces. That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. So we're just splitting
Braenna
up
hadn't taken any of the platinum.
the 2,000, the 1,000, and the 300, correct?
1,150 gold pieces for each of us,
Okay, cool.
and then
wait, say that number again.
1,150.
Okay. And I'll just
Gold.
hang on to the 10 platinum. I assume we'll spend it on something together as a party.
Sure. And then I have the potion that Umbran had identified, kind of.
I put in one superior potion and then the extra one, so I have 2 now.
Umbran,
Yes.
you feel the book jostle around in your bag.
Are you okay?
You see the fleshy bits kind of like undulating on the cover, and it's shaking a little bit, and it seems to be trying to open.
I stand up and take several steps back from my friends before I open it.
And as you open it, it flips until it reaches a page that essentially there's a picture of the ground, and that's it. It's just a leathery page and then a ink sketch of a ground with some like dark shades to it.
I close the book and I put it on the ground.
It doesn't let you
That's
close
what you
it.
wanted. Okay, I put it on the ground, face open.
And then
Are you-
the page flips, and the next page, a hand with long nails emerges from the ground, and then it flips to the next page, and it's just a series of pages of this bone claw that you had seen earlier emerging from the ground until it ends on the last page and then slams shut.
Now, there's no need to throw a temper tantrum. It's fine. The bone claw will be here eventually. Just give him time. I don't think he can make it here with the time distortions, so don't be fussy all week. I put it back in the bag.
And you were the only person that saw the images. No one else saw it.
I swear.
That's probably
some
for the
children.
best.
So
Everyone
fussy.
just saw the book kind of like fly around and pages flap, but Umbran was the only one that saw the pictures.
So it was the ground, the boat, and then like a flip book of the bone claw emerging from the earth over and over.
Yeah. Well, not over and over. It
It's like a
flipped
flip book.
until it was fully out and then slam shut.
Okay. Yes, I'm now familiar with the process of which the bone claw regenerates. Thank you, book.
So that thing's coming back?
I believe so, though it did not seem malicious. I think the bone claw is a new ally. Man, we're back to Google Docs being so mad at me that my name isn't Umbran. Google Docs is all like, I know what you're trying to write, man. I know we're talking about Pokemon. We're not talking about Pokemon, Google Docs. Stop it.
That's... Sounds like we can take any allies we can get right now.
To the forest, Vrexil?
Yeah, whenever we're ready.
Braenna. Heft both of them. She just got she's got her 20 strength, so she can carry Vrexil and the armor, I think. Or the pieces.
Canari will send the mountain of books on the carpet of flying along with you two. Or
Do you mind
yeah,
if I accompany you, Vrexil?
No, of course not.
I figure the second and third greatest automaton makers will be able to craft something quite fine.
That's probably true.
What else would you like to do, everybody?
Oh,
Do we have access to the stores here?
You don't think you do? Because
Okay.
you haven't previously.
And we can't call anyone from here.
You can call Quentin.
I don't want to call him.
I think Braenna drops off Vrexil and stuff, and then goes to one of the other training rooms and just has it summoned forth like a bunch of monsters, and she just keeps on whacking a bunch of stuff.
Straight to the training room.
Yeah.
With all these resort, spa, bubble, saunas, all this stuff around you, and you're just like, let's go train.
She's not training, she is whacking monsters.
Therapy.
When you're whacking monsters, it's actually scary.
Yeah. And occasionally she'll call out her ancestors and use the... Because it's like a week in there or whatever for each day, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like at least 7 times she'll use her augury to call her ancestors out for that, as well as the raging.
Okay. They feel as though there's a certain... They feel as though they have gained power with you. And so they have some capabilities now that they can offer you. Ways to sort of reach into the material world more than what had happened. And they relate to you that it's almost as if healing Andrew also sort of mended some pain that the family was feeling, your ancestors were feeling, and now they can do more because of
Is that just a standard more, or is there extra more?
standard more.
Okay.
Justification for subclass
Yeah.
features.
Okay.
Flavor.
Did you say that there are? You said that there are special rooms that can give us additional downtime.
The training rooms, since they're each a week, you have 3 weeks of downtime available to you if you would like.
Oh,
And those
they're all
rooms
open?
have the ability to give us things like places to work and.
Mm.
Actually, I think in that case, Vrexil would probably go there. He needs a little time.
Training room, time for some downtime.
Umbran would stay with Vrexil to help him rebuild his armor and maybe even build him a new functioning arm, as long as Vrexil will allow him to be there.
I think, for the most part, I think Vrexil's open to that. There's probably a certain point at which, well, no, I guess Umbran doesn't ever need to sleep or anything. So, yeah, there's a certain point where Vrexil kind of leaves a few things to kind of run on their own, and then just kind of goes off on his own for a little bit. But you're always kind of within earshot.
Do you have blueprints of your armor?
I do. They're up here.
Do you need them written down? And Umbran will pull out the notebook he has of all the notes that he's taken on Vrexil's armor. I know I should have asked first, but for my own automaton curiosity, I couldn't help but think of ways that perhaps I could be improved from your designs.
Vrexil looks them over, and that's pretty close. I actually had something a little different in mind.
Of course, I'm here for as much as you need me.
And then building montage.
I don't say it often, but I live to serve.
And I would say that over the course of a week in this room, Vrexil reconstructs his armor, but it is different. Rather than the sort of mess of different like ball bearings and joints and levers that kind of was like underneath his seat, that connected to a bunch of different spider legs. This design is a lot simpler and a lot more elegant. It's a single circular platform with a couple of little like square bits that sort of jut off, maybe just like a couple of inches, that sort of provide little stabilization areas. And there is an area on the seat. The seat looks very similar to what you expect from Vrexil's armor, but on the left side, there is a about 4 to 6 inch wide circular tube that goes into the armor. And over the course of the week, Vrexil constructs an arm joint, not unlike Millennia from Elden Ring, just sort of that over time starts to like attach to Vrexil's arm, and then has a connection point, like a spear-like area that goes into the armor and makes Vrexil truly and fully attached to the armor. And it has like little electrical arcs that jut off of the end, and a cap that can come over with a thought to close that when he's not attached to the armor. But when he is actually like connected to the armor like a USB drive, is linked into it. And using the winged boots replicate magic item, the armor floats on its own up to however high he wants it to go. And the underside, the gem of levitation that sort of ordinarily powered his old armor, now has like arcs of electricity that go underneath it. And over the course of the week, Vrexil experiments with casting that arc of electricity out with increasing precision until he starts to like line up little tiny targets and just like pew, 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 as he acquires the sharpshooter feat.
Not to butt in, as you feel the pressure return, but if you were to uncouple the gold wire and instead bypass it with the bronze, it would probably increase your firing speed. I just made that up. Copper, not bronze, copper.
I know you're right. I don't like that you're right.
We're doing it for the aesthetic, man. Come on, it's gold.
Just the wire, just the wire.
Vrexil will begrudgingly take a few suggestions that allow the arc of electricity to, when focused in a very specific way, increase its power in the way that the sharpshooter feat does. And yeah, he basically recreates this armor that is wholly different from what he used to have, and now he basically floats on like a UFO shaped disc with sort of stabilizer parts that kind of jut out, but there are no legs, there's no spider-like entity anymore. It's just this disc that he floats on, and he can fly, and he can go upside down, and he is fully connected to this armor that responds directly to his thoughts, instead of like the electrical impulses down the arm immediately control the armor rather than pulling levers and pressing buttons. So that's what he does for a week.
Our new little supercomputer.
And Umbran sees all of it. You're
Isn't it MODOK?
You're
who's like flying around in his little like chair.
Yeah, just about every step of the process Umbran sees. So you have very detailed blueprints if you choose to record them about how this all works.
I will keep up. I would openly record it so that you have those notes if anything does happen to this armor. And I do make a backup system.
There is a little temple in this resort with a little altar and candles that can be lit, incenses that can be lit, holy water that can be utilized, maybe taken if you need it, and other such religious items that sometimes clerics might be interested in, or monks.
And And Umbran, I will say as well, it probably takes you a minute to notice because you do not need these things, but Vrexil does not sleep for about the entirety of this week.
He would comment on your lack of rest and that he feels it's important for flesh beings, but he would not press you to rest if you did not feel so.
If you go 6 days without sleeping, technically you die.
He probably gets in little naps here and
Yeah,
there.
we'll
just, like,
bypass
falls
it
asleep.
here and there.
Lord Silronia also
The
goes
time-
along stretches of creative bouts of construction without rest.
There's definitely some mania behind this. There's definitely like a sort of wide-eyed like, I have to do this.
And
I
'cause
would
of some of
offer
the-
you cocaine, but unfortunately,
So because of some of
we
the
lack it.
timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly nonsense with the resort, you don't die.
There we go.
That's true. It is technically only a day out there.
Yeah.
I think as everybody's going out to the training rooms, I think Canari would head to the temple. I mean, she'll eventually go in a training room, I think, after a couple hours, but I think she's just going to sit in meditation at the temple with some incense lit and just kind of try and reconnect with Celestian and just sit there for a long time. And I think she doesn't dwell too much on what happened. It's there, it's reality now, and it's guiding the team to the next step of whatever that is. You said there were certain items and stuff like that here?
Yeah. Holy water, incense, candles, alms.
There wouldn't happen to be like a reliquary or something.
Yeah, more than likely.
One that's worth 500 gold?
That is incorrect.
Okay.
Several
got my-
that would equal 500 gold.
It says it has to be one.
No.
Dev just doesn't like me to have spells. That's
Look,
what that
what if
is.
you took all of the relic things that are there and then melted them down and created one super new one?
That isn't.
You could
how
create your own reliquary.
Yeah. These
How
would
do
be
you
Moxie's
create a
suggestions if
reliquary?
she was there, but she's not.
Those aren't. That's not how that works at all.
Who knows?
So, what I... Oh, you still gonna do more?
I mean, it was just I'm trying to figure out stuff for like, just trying to prepare as much as possible and get as many access to as many spells to cast as she can. Actually, fuck it, why not? If I used a divine intervention, could I summon like a reliquary from Celestian in order to use like a summon celestial?
Yep.
Cool. With that in mind, Canari will file that in her head. I think hit the spa really quickly to like get that out of the way, and then goes to a training room kind of while Vrexil and Umbran are going for a week. I think Canari would do the same, spend a week, and do every day she'd wake up and try and get a divine intervention to summon those components of spells that she would need. For specifically, I think it's summon celestial and then scrying, which if scrying, if I remember correctly, it's like a I think it's like either 500 or 1,000. The focus worth at least 1,000 gold pieces. So if I could get like 1,500 gold pieces worth of stuff dedicated to my god, that would be great.
All right.
Well,
do you want to roll your divine intervention now?
Sure, we can do those 7, and then I have a couple other things I want to do during the week because it just takes an action to do this. I shit you not, the first roll is a 7.
Is it?
Going good.
In the temple,
You can barely.
you hear the wind swirl around you,
Listen, that was
and
fun.
suddenly before you, a flash of twilight, of the moon and the sun, and a holy reliquary worth it probably around 500 gold pieces appears in front of you. However you would like it to look. And there is a faint voice around you. You have done well, my child. Did you hear that?
I did.
Okay, good. Gotta check.
The request was for both the reliquary and then the.
You only get one.
Okay, I will take the reliquary. I only get the one.
And you can't use it again for 7 days, so your training room.
Great.
You got
It
6 more
doesn't
days.
matter.
But what we're
Perfect.
gonna do is take an early break because I have to pee really bad, and also it gives people time to like think of what they want to do next, and then we'll come back, finish that out, and then yeah, your divine intervention roll worked the first time you used it. Yeah,
God
suck-
loves me.
absorb it,
Crazy.
absorb it.
Insane.
Oh my
I
goodness.
used Canari's dice set for that. Holy.
Like Wyatt would probably throw up if he lied about something like that. So,
Okay,
so anyway,
We'll
we're
be-
gonna go to break.
we'll be back.
Bye, everyone.
10 to
We'll be
12.
back in a
See you in a bit.
Hello, everyone. We are back. Welcome to Dungeon Sphere. Yeah. Had to wake everyone up. So anyway, we had just left Canari in the temple after a successful and first divine intervention, which granted Canari a gift. A reliquary worth 500 gold pieces, which is required for the casting of a certain spell.
You know which spell, Dev?
No.
Do you want to know?
I think you said conjure celestial
Yeah.
or summon celestial.
Yep.
It's the summon one. Conjure celestial is the one that's like you only get a quaddle.
Yeah. So thank you, Tasha's, for making fun spells.
Cool. And yeah, the reliquary is very glorious looking. It seems completely brand new, no scratches, no marks. It's shimmering in the moonlight, and even though usually reliquaries are made out of gold primarily, this one is made out of silver primarily.
Mm-hmm. It's a it's in the shape of like a crescent moon. And it's it has a couple of different like jewels inset. So like it's made out of silver, but then there's like a sapphire that's on it, along with like a couple of like opals and stuff like that, just to add to some of that beautiful thing. Inside it, there is a it's like a piece of cloth, and it's part of a shroud from a very long line of worshippers of Celestian.
Beautiful.
Mhm.
And yeah, that means that you cannot use your divine intervention for another 7 days.
Cool. Great. And just with the time dilation, how is this, like, if I'm in, because I think I would have gone to the training room to cast it, or to use it just in case, because I knew it needed that time. So
Every around 3 hours, a little over 3 hours,
okay,
is a day. Because 7 times 3,
21.
21, and then You get a little extra 3 hours to disperse.
Gotcha.
So that should be
Cool.
like 3 hours and 30 minutes around there.
That's
Great.
the leap day.
There it is. Knew it came from somewhere. Oh,
Leap day, yeah.
Great. Yeah. I'm still amazed that worked. Holy crap. I think Canari, since she has that now, I think she spends like the first day in the training room working through new spells that she has access to, and then spends another day working on her signature move, kind of using it in tandem with the Twilight Sanctuary, trying to empower it in some way, and get better at using it and channeling the power that she has with it. And then the other 5 days that she's in that training room, I want to spend reviewing footage from the different levels, almost like a highlight reel or something like that of each of the different teams. And while she's looking over it, I think I'm looking specifically for if they've used signature moves, what they are, what are their battle tactics, who seems to be the one that's capable of doing the most damage or like should be our first target if we have to go against them.
Mhm.
So I think she'd be kind of looking at those three. And I took the skill expert feat.
Ooh.
So I got proficiency in perception and then expertise in religion, which seems to make sense given that divine interaction roll now. Yeah, I think Canari's just going over everything, trying to compile as much information as she can about each of the
Roll
different
me
teams.
An investigation check.
You motherfucker. I'm gonna give myself.
You're investigating.
Actually, yeah, that is true. I'm gonna cast enhanceability. And give myself I think it's not Eagle Splendor, it's Fox's Cunning, I think gives me advantage on investigation. And then I'm also gonna I can't guide myself while that happens. There's
I'll
the
just
bow
say
of
that
concentration.
you just keep recasting it every time it fizzles out.
Yeah.
Try to get as much of it as you can, and that gives you advantage for this roll.
God does love me. I rolled a 19 and a 20.
Jeez.
Natural 20 for a 21.
Here is what you learn in your time in the training room.
A scroll that just goes around the room in spirals. Just mad
Choose a
notes.
team. The first team you check.
Why don't we just do them in the order that they arrived on level 3 in? So
Okay.
she'd start with Hydra.
Hydra first. You see the team working quite well together. Egg seems to be standing in the back giving directions, and everything seems to be coordinated under Egg's strategies. So that's very good to know. You see that Egg seems to have this capability of manipulating his spells and other spells in some way that might empower them. You'll see that, do you remember Gortholomew Furry Toes? He's the one that was dancing with you?
Yeah.
Or Moxie? Yep, okay, cool.
It was with me.
He seems to be leading in the assisting sorts of role, the support, does a lot of charming. He seems to have the ability, a signature move that you've never seen before. You see it used on a ship of pirates that they were fighting. He targeted 5 swords actually, and they all shrank to half of their size. and they were all very confused.
Oh, cool.
tiny little storage in there.
Huh?
You see that Tuk, the kobold trickery cleric, he is using his duplicate to confuse the enemies a lot, and he seems to also be providing some support. And he seems to have the signature move that lets him create multiple copies of himself. It's like in a big single burst of just like duplication, and then it falters after a little bit. But it does seem to be enough to disorient everyone. You don't see what Egg can do in terms of a signature move,
Sure.
but you do see that he seems to favor the fireball spell and the lightning bolt spell. Alan Farmer, he is a paladin, you remember, of the Ancients, and he is very much leading the charge into battle. He's definitely their sort of brute, casting lots of smites, and you don't really see what he can do in terms of the signature move either. Then lastly on that team is Ilaria Brightshade. You see that she has a staff that seems to summon cold and ice, and it seems to be related to her signature move, but you're not sure exactly what it is. And you just see that she seems to really enjoy turning into a giant elk when she can.
And she's a druid, isn't she?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Now, before I continue, would you like to go do this with the rest of your team?
I think now that Canari has like done the trial run with Hydra and knows what to be looking for with everything like that, I think she would. Yeah, I would wait until that week has passed. So I think she'd just spend more time working on her signature move, the new spells, just getting better at holding them, figuring out what combinations work well together. And then I think before, on like the last day with those last 3 hours, I think she goes full ham in like massage, sits in a hot tub, and just like gets all the stress out of her body, just like chiropractic, just everything. Just she treats herself.
The people who do that are actually dryads that emerge out of the various different like luxurious trees, and they seem to perform some of those services for you.
Cool.
You are very well treated, and you are moisturized, unbothered.
In my lane.
Just luxuriating.
Great. Cool.
And a week ends, and the next day comes, and you all, no matter what, if you're in a training room or not, get this sort of signal that says sleep is recommended.
So wait, could we spend a whole week, like a whole day in the training room and just kind of like do whatever?
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
I was gonna say, did we go through Moxie's?
I don't know
whatever
if we
she
did
wanted?
Moxie's.
No.
No, Moxie, we didn't do yours.
And
Yeah,
Umbran?
so everyone disappears into the training rooms, and Moxie, you're just there.
Yeah, I think once everyone was gone. Okay, wait, I had a couple questions before I figured out what I was doing. So how long have we been in the dungeon sphere, like, in real time? Like, in the, for the people who are not in the dungeon sphere, how long has it been?
That is a great question.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna ask you all these questions. They're all time related.
I can't, and I won't be answering that for you.
We have taken 26 long rests.
Okay.
26 days. Thank
for
you.
what it's worth.
I was gonna say you might not know that and would probably have to ask your allies.
I mean,
As a
no, I was just
character,
asking you
Umbran
for
would
like
know.
my general. Anyway.
Okay, yeah. So almost a month.
So since you know that, how long does it feel like we've been in here? Like, because time is so weird. Like, outside of game, how long? Like, does it feel like we've been in here for like several months?
It feels as though you've been here longer than a month, but it's all gone by so fast because it's so like thing after thing after thing. So you're like, it's almost normalized to you being in here. And if you leave, you would be like, it feels really weird being out of the sphere.
Okay.
But it also has felt like it's been no time at all.
Okay. And then how long has it been since we went to the labyrinth? Like just a day or so? A couple days? A couple weeks?
It was you did the labyrinth, and that was before the Elven Island, right?
Yeah, so we did the labyrinth and then like the
you blew the conch to get to the Elven labyrinth. Or Elven Island, so that was only a day. And then I think it took another like 3 or 4 days to get to the Gnome Islands. And then it's been less than a day since you've been here. So around like 4 or 5 days.
Okay, so yeah, Moxie is going to. You said there was like a kitchen area, right?
Yes.
Okay,
everything you
Moxie's
might want or need.
basically gonna get a large bowl and like arm a bunch of fruit and vegetables or just mostly fruit and like some bread and cheese into it. And she's gonna go off into a training room, and then pop out a short while later with a sign that says "Fuck off, Quentin." And she's gonna stay in that room the whole time and process things for that week. So she's
while eating
like,
fruit.
Yeah. She wants to make sure she has a snack. She might have some things to work through, but snacks are important. And so she's gonna be because there was a lot of stuff that happened with the labyrinth that like she hasn't really worked through. So she's just gonna be dealing with like the weird. She's gonna try to be like remembering some of the glyphs or runes that she had on her, like that she kind of like remembers seeing on her body and like writing them down. Doing like probably some prayer. I'm calling that my cleric. This is like this week is when Moxie does more cleric-y stuff. So and cries probably, and I don't know, eats a lot of fruit and cheese, and probably
lots
pops
of
out
push-ups.
Yeah. There's a lot of exercise while eating cheese, so she has a good time. It's a cathartic time for Moxie.
The people want to know: is Moxie someone who bites into string cheese sticks or peels string cheese sticks?
I mean, the me in me wants to say that she peels it because that's what you're supposed to do. That's the fun of it. But I feel like, knowing Moxie, she probably tries to shove the whole thing in her mouth. So it's all one bite in her mouth, like.
Somebody slaps her on the back and just like 20 string cheese completely whole, just like rapid fire out of her mouth.
Yeah. So that's my answer to the string cheese question. But I'm assuming that it's just hunks of cheese that Moxie's just like biting into the midst of. So.
On the 6th day, you hear the constable screaming from your bag.
No! Oh God, I'm such a bad parent.
He rolls out of your bag, and then the egg rolls forward, and then it rolls backward, and then it rolls to the side. And then you hear a as it rolls, and the egg pops open.
What's in the egg?
And I'll post it in handouts.
I'm terrified to click that. I just want to say that right now.
No.
Oh my
Young
God.
Griffin hatchling rolls out of the egg. And
it's just Moxie screaming.
there is. And this Griffin There's actually a young griffin tiny stat block from the Icewind Dale Rime of the Frosting.
Oh my god. Oh my
You
god.
might be able to add that in your extras, but now you have the baby griffin.
After Moxie composes herself slightly.
The constable starts sniffing him a little bit.
Oh god, the constable.
Licks off some of the amniotic fluid.
Okay. I guess probably the 7th day would then be Moxie asking the room to give her the first time that she's ever asked for books. Or like, does Scryer Vision have how-to videos for taking care of a baby griffin? She'd basically probably spend that last day figuring out like sort of how to take care of it, what to kind of feed it.
A video does appear for Caring for Your Newborn Griffin by Xavier Amadeus Mozzarella. Because we were talking about cheese. And I was thinking Mozart mozzarella.
Professor Mozzarella, he's very well respected in the Griffin community.
And then Raising Griffins for Dummies, the book, appears in front of you.
Okay, so Moxie will take the day to read that and
Part 1 of 19.
Okay, well we're just gonna read the first part. She doesn't have time for all of that.
First, you must chew up your food, food of the baby griffin, and then spit it into his mouth.
Oh god, this is gonna be a lot.
He prefers fresh flank from bovines.
I have to eat raw meat and then give it to him?
Yes. Wait, this is a video.
Anticipates the question.
It's like Blink from Doctor Who.
Moxie's just like,
Dev's voice sounds like the Pokedex. I can just imagine Moxie with a Pokedex. That kind of talks back to Ash in the anime.
gotta catch 'em now.
Oh god. Who's that figurine? Anyway,
It's Pikachu.
so yeah,
Oh, fuck.
yeah, I guess when Moxie emerges on the 7th day, which I guess is just the beginning of day 2, she's gonna have like just a really like floppy backpack on with the constable and some rocks in it and the griffin in her hand, and she's gonna be like, hey, that's it for now. I'm ready for when we get to the next part, but I think that some people maybe didn't say what they're doing. I don't know.
I mean,
Umbran's got a bit if we wanna.
yeah.
Do you want to stay with Vrexil for the whole first week / first day, and then do your bit?
Yeah.
Okay, because I have something for day 2. So as you all go to sleep on the eve of the 2nd day, you wake up and you hear a voice. A familiar voice. And Quentin and Claudulius are in the entryway chatting up each other.
I
Who's
imagine
rising
we
up?
all peek our like heads over
Yeah.
the wall in like.
And it's
height
like in the
order.
stack.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Vrexil's on top floating.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I was saying to them that if you wanted a corkscrew that was magically enchanted to impale any demon lizard you saw, it's gonna cost extra. Okay, Claudulius. Wonderful. And then he turns and he notices you.
Are we
Friends!
interrupting a lover's quarrel? We can leave if you need.
I don't love this man.
Who does?
I don't know. I heard
Huh?
the words corkscrews and impale, so.
No!
I think-
He runs up to each of you, or to the group. Hi, everyone. It's me, Claudulius.
Yes,
Yeah.
we know you, Claudulius.
Hi.
I was assigned to visit each of the teams just in case they wanted to sell any magical items before they enter the next level. I can't sell you anything, but you can sell me anything.
Will you take this eyeball?
That's just a sphere.
No, it's an eyeball. I shake the jar with the cleric's eye.
Oh, it's the jar. I thought you meant
No one
the
will buy it.
docent, because it was like, oh, yeah, I'll buy that. Of
How
course.
much, though?
I mean, you can get a cleric's eyeball anywhere. He glances at Canari. So maybe around like 5 gold
Which
pieces.
is exactly why I don't need a cleric's eye. I have my own cleric with eyes.
Oh yeah, there's 2 of them. You can make 2 of those.
I'm sorry.
How about 4 of them? I forgot the one over here decided that punching things wasn't the best option sometimes.
I'm sorry.
I'll sell it or I'll buy it from you for 5 gold pieces.
That feels criminal. I mean, it's a full eyeball. Do you know how much these go for on the black market?
5 gold pieces.
Nonsense. If you need a functioning eyeball, especially enchanted by a cleric, people would give their right arm for it. No offense, Vrexil.
Roll a persuasion check at disadvantage.
But I'm delightful.
Because he knows his stuff.
Oh, it's an 8 now. Wonderful. 18.
Natural 19 plus 3.
Fine, I'll keep the eyeball. I don't need your pity money.
Oh, okay. You know, doll, I was just telling you. Market rate.
Call me doll again, and you're gonna have your own eyeballs to sell.
Alrighty.
Okay, I have contingencies for that. He whispers to the side. Vrexil gets a flash of a clone falling out of a closet.
Oh no. Vrexil would ask how much for the Magnificent Mansion spell scroll.
Oh. Are you sure you want to sell that to me?
No, that's why I'm asking the price.
Yeah. What level spell is that?
7.
7? Yeah. I could give you around 10,000 gold pieces for that.
Okay, so this feels like a group decision.
Yeah.
That is a lot of
Magnificent Mansion's a really good spell. You could use it to give yourself a luxurious experience like this one at any time. Like, whoever holds it gets to craft their own mansion with their mind. Are you sure you want to sell that?
Are you trying to suggest that things that you may or may not know that are coming up would be a benefit to have this?
Listen, sweetie, this would be a benefit for anyone to have.
Are you providing inside information to one of the team?
I mean, I'm here for it.
I can give information about the items that I purchase or sell.
Like what
The
you
items
bought.
you bought from other teams?
What?
You can tell us what other teams sold to you?
No! I can tell you the things that you put in front of my face.
What if it was a picture of the other team and I asked you to tell me what they sold to you?
What are they worth? What is their net worth? And Canari holds up a pencil drawing of egg. How much is this man worth?
Quentin's just
What is the
rubbing his
bounty on
temples.
this goblin?
Quentin, listen, we've almost died about 20 times, and one of us actually did die.
I've died several
So
times.
let me just have this moment of stupidity.
Oh, hey, you look different. Did you change your hair? He's talking to Vrexil.
Alright, how much for this crown?
Vrexil hasn't processed this yet.
How rare is that crown? Let's see. How rare is it?
It's pretty wondrous, actually. Some might call it very rare.
Yeah. Very rare. Okay. How about 20,000 gold pieces?
One moment, please.
Yeah, we need to.
Moxie, you cannot sell the only dwarven artifact that remains of the gnomes, the sky gnomes.
I mean, that's why I said group meeting. She's here with us, right?
You feel that she is asleep currently, Vrexil.
Is that how that works? Just on my own.
Look, all I'm saying is that really all I feel like this crown is doing for me is making it so that I might maybe be able to really command an audience, but...
I mean,
Oh,
if
the
you
baby
don't
griffin's
want
head pops its head. The baby griffin pops its head out of Moxie's like cloak and everything.
Oh, yes.
Who's it?
She just... this is my griffin. Yet
when
to
I
be
think
named.
of griffins, I never think of the sound of crows, but truly, what do I know of griffins?
What is the name?
I haven't come up with it yet. It just hatched yesterday at the very end of the day.
It's a griffin. Would it make bird noises or cat noises?
I don't know.
Eagle noises.
Griff.
Obviously.
Oh god, it got worse.
And then
Does
the constable
anybody
pokes
think
his head out too.
they could
Oh.
use the boots of levitation? No, because I think half of us can fly now. Quintilius.
I mean,
Nope.
I could, but you have to.
Claudia.
What's it called to them, right? You have to attune
Quintilius.
them.
Yes.
My
Ledulius.
name is Quintilius.
Everyone's got the same name. I'm so sorry.
His name
Boots
is
of
Quentin.
levitation.
Yeah. What about him?
Why would I show you boots of levitation?
I'll give you
A brag?
200.
I'll take 200 for him.
Okay.
I
He
throw
gives you
boots at
200
his
gold
face.
pieces. He snaps his fingers and they just stop and float in front of his face. And then he taps them. They become encapsulated in a bubble, and then he taps the bubble and it disappears. And I did not steal that from Steven Universe.
Yeah, I think you did, though.
Definitely not.
Mm.
Are we selling this crown?
No, Moxie, you can't sell the crown.
Why not?
Moxie, it is an artifact of the gnomish people.
Okay, well, there's a gnome
Of
here
great
and the
importance.
queen, and I'm asking the gnome that I know if I can sell it.
No.
I feel like we don't know everything it might be able to do yet.
All right, fine.
I'll give you
But-
50,000 for the griffin.
No, you can go to hell, good sir.
See, it is the same thing with the crown. The same way you feel for the griffin.
No, that's okay. First of all, griffins and crowns are not the same, but that's why I was asking before I did it. That's all I was saying.
Similar thing. Also, if you don't want to command an army, I will gladly take the crown off your hands for the moment.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, it looks great on me, but I don't need to attune or be wearing it. I don't think I'm gonna be that great at it. So here you go. I'm gonna just
Gladly. What's it called?
it's called the Crown of Queenly Might.
It's on D&D Beyond.
Yeah, I
It's
grabbed it.
gorgeous, and it looks great on me. But
That's
let's
it? You're
turn
just gonna sell me a measly pair of boots?
I'm not
Well-
done looking at my stuff.
We
You
are
will gladly
still
take those boots.
sidebarring. The
Moxie
the,
just pops up and no longer has a crown on.
the spell scroll. It could.
I think
It's
we
a
should get
one-time-
rid of it.
It's a one-time use. Right. It's a one-time use. It's if it were like the ability to cast it forever, that's very different. It's
Yeah.
it's a
Sorry,
one
those are
shot.
one side.
It would be
What?
very useful for a wizard to have to gain access, but
Right.
none of us are wizards.
That was a good price for.
That is so much money.
That's a lot of
Also
money for
takes
one.
An hour to cast, does it not? Which is not helpful in the middle of combat.
Yeah.
Which is the only moment we could truly use.
I still have access to the tiny hut if we really need a impenetrable area.
Well then, yeah.
So we're all good selling this thing.
I
Mhm.
say get rid of it.
If there's a chance to buy items on the next level, I mean, that gives us a lot of wiggle room.
Yeah.
Let's go for it.
Do it.
Alright.
Do it.
All right. He takes the scroll, bubbles it.
And
And then-
And along with the scroll, there's like another sheaf of parchment that are these like library-themed house drawings that Vrexil just kind of like sheepishly.
Oh, I don't need those.
Okay.
But
How much was that?
10,000.
10,000 gold pieces, and he reaches into his pocket and then he pulls out a bag that wouldn't have fit in his pocket, full of coin, and he hands it to you. And then all on the
Nice.
tied really tight. Oh, that was heavy. Well, anyway, I'm gonna enjoy this baby. Whoop, whoop.
This also does mean that we have taught Claudius the spell Magnificent Mansion
True,
because
that
he
is
is a wizard.
That
It's
is true.
I guess
Does
that's
anyone
everything.
else have any
Interesting.
items that they would like to offload?
I mean,
I still have the Lightbringer, but do we? Does anybody actually want to use that, or should we just dump that one?
I've got my ladle.
But the ladle was so cool. It's so nice. It was a gift.
Well, I'm saying I don't need Lightbringer because I have the
Oh,
ladle.
got it. Because you have the ladle. Okay.
Yeah, and I
That's
have a
really
lot
nice
of,
looking ladle there.
and it's not for sale, Claudius.
Alright.
It was a gift.
Braenna
That's
will
entirely tacky and rude.
Braenna will
Can
pull
we
out.
only sell magic items?
Braenna will pull out
Do you want
from
the
from just a just like she has weapons just piled on her back, and she pulls this one and like pulls out Lightbringer.
He takes it, bubbles it. Actually, and
To see how much it costs, man.
Oh, he unbubbles it. 200 gold pieces for this as well.
200?
Only 200? Okay.
Yeah, I could make this on a Tuesday afternoon.
I didn't know if you said 2 or 1. Sorry.
2.
Okay. Is that 40? Okay.
2.
Okay. 200 gold for that.
Anything
40
else?
for fun.
If I have wait, so that are you only taking magical items? I can't just.
It can be anything.
Oh, okay. Can I offload
Also,
this
if
quarter stuff?
Vrexil, I know some architect friends of mine if you wanted to hand over the schematics for your house.
Oh, now you do want those schematics.
Not
So
for
rude.
me to purchase, but for me to pass along as a, do business with him.
Is there going to be a licensing fee for that?
I was gonna say if you would like to license my intellectual architectural property, we can talk about that at a future day.
I could do that. Okay.
Do we?
Take this quarter stuff. I don't want it.
Okay.
It's worth nothing.
All right. He just takes it, and then.
I mean, there was silver on it, but it wasn't really worth anything, so I just don't want it anymore.
Do we still want the Guardian Emblem? Because I have a lot of... I mean, between counter spell and my signature move, reactions are a little... I mean, it cancels out natural 20s 3 times, which...
Braenna, can you do that?
Can I cancel? No, I can't cancel it.
Oh, that's
You
the
have
grave
to be
domain.
attuned
Yeah.
to it, correct?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't have anything else to attune to. I don't know if we have other...
The queen,
I don't-
the crown of queenly might.
Well, I can
That's an option.
cast that at a higher DC. And I have more options for what to do with it. I'll hang on to it for now, just because it's not like every critical is going to be from a spell or everything.
Oh man, I mean, I guess I could also take it and take off the cloak of protection. I don't know that I need that anymore. It does put me at a 19, but
Let's hang on to it. I
Okay.
mean, we can just keep it, and then when we get to another area, we can always redo it or change things around.
think Cloak of Protection as well is something that I can make now. I think. Hold on.
By the way, the baby griffin has advantage on wisdom checks. Would that rely on sight?
Oh yeah, how do I add that? Because that's not just an item I put in my backpack, right?
I can.
Should be in extras.
Thank you.
I can
Or notes.
replicate.
No, yeah, extras.
I can replicate a Cloak of Protection if you are ever interested in that.
Okay.
For
Well,
what
I mean,
it's worth.
I could
Is
sell
it? Is that an attunement? Is that an attunement item?
Yeah, that's why.
Okay. Yeah. So my version still would be attunement as well, but
Yeah.
But you could get rid of it if you ever decided you wanted to go back later. I could make you another one.
Okay. You said tiny young griffin, correct?
Yes. Still has that new griffin smell.
Tiny monstrosity.
It sure is.
I mean, I guess I'll keep the cloak for now, and then, yeah, like, if we get to the next place, we could always sell it.
Hey, Moxie.
Yes.
I'll give you 10 gold pieces if you name the griffin Little Claudulius.
I mean, I hate to say this, because you're pretty cool sometimes, but I don't know that I can say your name fully. I don't get names correct a lot. It's nothing against you or your name. I'm just very bad at names. So...
Yeah. You don't have to say anything else. It's fine.
But I'll
Everything's
keep it in
fine.
mind. I'll let you know if I do. Actually,
Okay.
could I, never mind. Just kidding. Goodbye. Thank you for your time. If you have any other animals, I would be, very interested in seeing them at a later time, I guess.
Good to know. Well, I'll be off. Don't miss me too much.
I won't.
Bye, Claudulius.
Per
He
your
snaps
orders.
his fingers and he's gone.
Okay. See ya. Quentin!
Well, I'm gonna go back to my office now. Goodbye.
No!
What?
Look. Potentially, depending on what's going on in the next rounds, could I might persuade you to take my baby griffin until a later such time in which I have the ability to take care of a baby griffin? Because let's be real, taking care of a baby griffin.
Oh, all right. What's its name?
I'll tell you when I give the griffin to you at the end of day 3. I'm keeping it for now, because it's mine.
All right. Well, there is a little field of flowers in the back if you need a frolic with your new little friend.
Oh my god, you're a genius. And then Moxie runs.
That was supposed to be. Never mind.
You know, Moxie, nothing's ever.
It was supposed to be condescending.
There's no reason to be rude, Claudulius. She's a new mother. Give her time.
Claudulius left. You're just as bad
What
at
the
names
people's
as
names?
Moxie. Goodbye. I'm going to my
you
office.
used to have a
I
regular name before I changed it.
lots
now it's
to
just
do.
the same.
And then he leaves. Or he's making his way out. Canari, you were gonna say something?
I mean, I was just gonna. Moxie's off frolicking with. I was just gonna say, I started reviewing the other team's footage. Figured it was a good thing to do with everybody else, so we all kind of know what we're getting into for next level, depending on what happens. But we can have a couple hours to do whatever we need to do out here, and then grab a training room and just go over everybody else's.
I don't know how the rest feel, but I haven't truly gotten any time to myself yet. I was hoping.
Oh no, totally. It should be every 3 hours or so. Gets you a day or so in the training room. So just come find me. I'm gonna hang out here. Just let me know once you're ready, Umbran.
Cool.
And Canari will go into the kitchen and with the grapefruits that were given to us by the the Sailors Guild. She's gonna like spend some time and like make a like grapefruit tart, like a few other things.
Yummy.
Who ended up
Yummy.
with a bag of beans?
I don't think we said.
Who did?
We didn't say.
Yeah.
Oh.
Who do you trust the bag of beans with the most?
Vrexil. But I mean, he doesn't have to take them. I'm just saying.
Do you really want to give him a bag of beans after he just...
It's not a grenade.
I know.
That's right. He needs them. He doesn't have a grenade anymore. Let him throw beans at people.
He knows how to make the grenades.
Do I?
I told you that it can replace one of your,
I didn't know if that was official or if that was like over time. You might be able to do that someday, kind of thing.
So I think,
no,
Where
you
do you
can
want
just
the
do it now.
beans?
because I think Braenna might have snagged the bag of beans
If you have the materials.
just for funsies, and then may have forgotten that they're magical beans.
Do you want to do it?
I kind of really do. And maybe go to snack on a bean. Just for funsies.
Yeah, as Umbran like leaves to go to his room, Braenna's all like, just gonna eat a bean, and we all turn around and go, no, but it's too late.
First, Melissa, could you roll me a 3d4?
Yep, I sure can.
Let's see how many beans are in there.
Oh no.
Oh, that's... Where did all my fucking dice go? Okay, I'll just roll 1d4
They're over
3
there.
times. 2, 3, 4. 9.
3,
9.
4,
9.
9. There are 9
Nine.
beans.
9.
Eating a bean does not produce the effect.
Oh, bummer. She eats a bean. Doesn't even think about it. There are now 8 beans in the bag that Braenna has. So that's what it is, right? It's the bag of beans?
Mm-hmm. It requires the actual, like, planting of it for it to happen. But let me know, maybe after 3 hours when Braenna would use the toilet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Because it also requires some water. Alright,
Cool.
Umbran's gonna
so
head to his
you eat a
room.
bean, you're frolicking, Umbran's in the room. Umbran, would you like to attune to this metal sphere that you were given?
Yes. While we were with Vrexil, in an hour that he didn't need Umbran, when he was like doing his own stuff and Umbran was just there on standby, I would have figured out what the sphere was.
You know that it would require attunement, but after an hour, it does not seem to attune. After spending an hour of like in close proximity studying it.
Well, no. You can spend an hour. You can spend a short rest to identify a magic object if you don't know the identify spell.
Oh yeah, you don't have to attune to it. You just kind of like learn it about it. Give me an Arcana check just in case.
Just for funsies?
Just for funsies.
Arcana is a 6 now, so 17.
This is what some call a docent.
I used to be a docent.
You know that it is a sphere that can be embedded in the body, such as in your chest or in your eye socket. And it grants some fairly beneficial properties, such as life support, extra languages, extra spells.
Oh.
Okay. I will attune to the docent. I will unattune to something first, though. pains me to do it, I will unattune to my Pearl of Power.
Oh.
Where would you like to put the docent?
At the moment, I'm just going to unbutton my shirt over my chest cavity and shove it in there with my my crystal heart and my blood well vial. So just 3 things floating inside. I might put it in an eye socket later, but
when it gets inside of you, it actually hovers up, gets close to the center, and starts sort of. How big is this cavity in your chest?
torso sized.
So it starts hovering around, almost in an orbit around the Shadowfell Shard, and you hear in your head, booting up. Hello, I am Docent. I am a sentient item that is here to help. What is your name?
Hello, Docent. That is another new voice in my head we'll have to deal with. I'm Umbran Orion of the House Silvernia.
It is nice to meet you, Umbran Orion of House Silvernia. I am designed to advise and assist you. I also serve as a translator for the following languages. Roll me a 1d4.
Four.
Common, giant, deep speech. You already know deep speech, don't you?
I know common and I know deep speech.
Okay, not deep speech. Common, giant, elvish, draconic, primordial, and infernal. I also can learn other languages if I hear or read the language, which I can perceive through your senses. I also am able to assist in. Roll me another d4.
Still 4.
I also can assist in helping you assess nature, fauna, flora, and fungi. I have the following spell. Roll me a d6.
1.
Detect evil and good. I also can assist in keeping you alive if you are dying.
Wonderful.
I hope that we can be good friends and that I can prove my worth to you.
It seems all of us are always trying to prove our own worth, so you're right here with us, Docent.
Master,
Yes, Jerome.
you have been silent for quite some time. Are you okay?
It's been a long day, Jerome.
Can I show you something?
Yes, please. I would love to see whatever it is.
So Jerome hops out of your bag and then jumps onto the ground and then croaks, and then Phineas crawls out of your bag and goes onto the ground. Phineas.
Yes.
And then he croaks. And then Phineas turns in a circle. And then he does a different croak. And Phineas walks backwards. I have trained him. He's my first loyal soldier. The first of my army.
What did I tell you about soldiers?
I know you did.
We're not training soldiers. We're making friends.
He is the
Phineas is
first
your
of my
friend.
friends in my army of friends.
Better. We'll work on it more. Very proud of you, Jerome. You've made excellent progress.
Yes. Next, I will subjugate the griffin.
No,
Oh,
you leave
dear.
Randy alone. Randy's not yours.
That is all I wanted
That's
to
not
show
her
you.
name.
Hopefully I can be of use to you in the future.
I named him Randy.
Boy
Yes,
or a
of course.
girl?
Oh, I don't know. Is it a boy or a girl? She could still be Randy if she's a girl.
Master,
Yes.
may I have my flies?
Oh, yes, of course, Jerome. A gift for you.
He goes up, jumps on it, and then croaks, and then he holds out his leg, and then Phineas grabs his leg and spins him, opening the jar. And then as the flies burst out, he starts like eating them.
From the Find Familiar, I'm gonna summon my snake, Velvet. Just be like, watch them. And gonna set her down on the ground to just watch Jerome and Phineas. Just to make sure they behave as I head into the room.
The snake. Jerome gets into the jar. And then Phineas gets in front of it and holds up his claws like crabs do when they're threatened.
I told you, Velvet is a friend. We're making friends.
I don't trust her.
No, she's wonderful. She like coils around the jar and like stares at him.
I am sorry. I cannot process the speech of these creatures.
They're animals. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I understand enough. So much to learn, docent. I'm glad to have you here.
So many voices in your head.
So many voices in my head. So many. Never alone.
You're like N from Pokemon 5th Generation. You just have all these friends.
This is my Pokemon team. And we're about to get one more member.
Moxie and Umbran got a battle. Go, docent!
Oh my god.
Umbran walks into his room, leaving his familiars behind. His many familiars behind. Can I do my training bit?
And you're in your training room. I thought you were in your training room while you were doing this, by the way.
Oh no, I would like to leave Jerome outside for this part.
I understand.
That's
There are
fine.
secrets that even a master must keep.
That's why I left. So Umbran strides purposely into his room as he strides everywhere with purpose. And as he is in there, he turns the room into the astral sea. Dark, inky blackness with distant stars and ominous moving shadows of giant beasts in the background, and makes a like little asteroid platform to stand on. Since Umbran has leveled up yesterday, there's been like a weird bubbling inside of himself of like unrestrained power that he hasn't quite been able to understand. As he stands there, he summons forth whatever this new entity is, and from these shadows emerges a medium-sized skeleton of a dog. It lays there dormant for a minute before the shadows and the inky darkness of space coalesce around it as it stands, and it is his Hound of Ill Omen, a medium-sized skeletal dog covered by shadows and stars and darkness with like glowing red eyes.
Just like Braenna's.
I love
This
it.
one will not be speaking to you.
Thank fucking God. I didn't think my snake was gonna talk until she did.
Familiars can talk to you. Well, that's another Pokemon added to your roster.
Yeah, Umbran's gonna kneel down and like open
Oh, many
his arms
animals.
to it as it like comes over to lick his face with its weird ghost dog tongue.
It leaves like shadowy like remnants before they like almost evaporate off your cheek.
The pet to a puppet. Well, I suppose a new friend then. And you will need a name. Umbran stands up and looks down at it. I know. Deimos. A wonderful name for you. Then Umbran opens up his cloak, and the dog, the hound like walks in between him and the cloak and like disappears into the shadowy silver of it, which is how he'll summon it in the future. Like opening up his cloak and it runs out. And then he strides confidently off the asteroid, and as he does, more of this shadowy, starlit, kind of dark night coalesces around his feet as he casts Quizzy's Convenient Cloud, his new spell that he got from rolling up as a sorcerer.
A homebrew spell by me.
Oh.
This cloud coalesces around your feet. It does require like a little bit of water, actually. So you will pull out a vial, unstopper it, and then the water from inside this vial will evaporate, come down, and then coalesce into this cloud. And then it kind of like sweeps under your feet and then picks you up. And it's a solid surface, but it looks like a cloud, just like the dude from Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, and Umbran like flies around through the astral sea that he's made, and as he does, more energy kind of like seeps into his body as he takes the metamagic adept feat, and he gains 2 more metamagic points, and as well as which one's did I take? Quicken spell and
It's such a good choice for a sorcerer.
It really is, especially since I
points.
only took 1 level of sorcerer and 2 levels of rogue to get it.
Mhm.
So it does sorcerer's rose. Empowered spell and quicken spell. And he just spends time like by himself floating through the astral sea on his new cloud before returning to the asteroid, and he'll spend the rest of the week practicing the performance skill, just playing his harp before.
Turns into a musical sequence, just like flying through the clouds, like the end of an anime, and then like this credits are.
Yeah.
No, not the end of an anime, like the end of like finishing a Kirby game, and it just like goes through all the credits as you're just like flying around.
He just spends time by himself enjoying it. He'll even take out the music box and like crank it up that we got at the house with the love potions in it, and just like play along to whatever song is in there. Just spending time by himself.
Dancing along with it.
You said he spent a week doing that?
Yeah, but I would come out to
Go over
watch
team
the scenes. Yeah.
watching.
Sure.
I know I
It goes back
didn't.
in whenever you were like time to eat or sleep or do anything that normal skin walk
Yeah.
skin
So,
people
so
do.
I didn't explicitly say for when Braenna did her stuff, but Braenna took dual wielder and level 9 gave Brutal Critical, so she hit stuff real good now.
Oh yeah. So that's definitely what you've been practicing on and working with your ancestors.
Yeah, among the why am I so bad at my job? Can't protect anyone.
Which relative is going to teach you dual wielding?
Oh god, I haven't looked at the family tree in like a million years. Someone does that thing. Let's see if I can remember where it is. It's like family that. There we go. Let's see. Sign in. Fuck, I don't remember my password. I will have to do that later. Someone, in fact, does the thing. I have it somewhere.
Someone, one of your family members. You'll tell me.
Yep. And like, brute, like she's just breaking walls and stuff with the brute, like hitting stuff that hard, like, bam.
I'm breaking walls.
Lots of hard hits.
Breaking walls. There's not a wall in heaven that I can't break. High School Musical.
I bet you were just gonna replace every word in that with wall, and I was so prepared. There's not a wall in wall that we can't wall.
Wallin'. There's not a wall in wall that we can't wall.
And also, Spirit Shield now does 3d6 instead of 2d6.
Ooh.
So
Of
that's
subtracting?
exciting. Yes.
Of subtracting damage. Ooh.
So that's a lot of damage that I could theoretically not have you guys take if you would stay within range.
Okay.
Be
I gotta go
faster.
fast.
I go 40 feet. I go pretty flippin'
That's not
fast.
enough.
I'm fast enough to catch up to Moxie.
Canari would let you would lend you the carpet of flying just so you could start flying around and just whapping things
Oh,
Amazing.
just
So-
to go faster.
in terms of checking out other teams' reels, is that something that you would still like to pursue?
Yeah. Did
Right.
Umbran keep the 200 gold from the boots levitation, or was that in the pool?
I kept it.
Okay, cool. Cool.
But like as
Right.
always, if you guys need money, just ask.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, totally, yeah. Just making sure I was adding the right number to my stuff. Because that should have been 2040 to everybody.
I guess I never said, but the other two things that Moxie would do, she just got faster. She can dodge everything now, so.
You're right.
And even when she doesn't dodge it that great, she's not taking a lot of damage, so.
Theoretically.
Oh, and I can emboldening bond 4 people now, so.
Well, that feels like everyone.
The whole team.
Yeah, except for like one person, so. Yeah. And I can do it 4 times. I think that was kind of like the biggest fun thing.
Mhm.
Cool.
I
Oh,
got
yeah.
divine intervention. And like blessed strikes, but that's
No, those are whatever.
yeah.
Oh, and Braenna can now consult the spirits. Once
Ooh,
per... Oh, it's a per short rest. I thought it was per
Ooh, nice.
long rest.
nice.
She can be talking to her ancestors all the time, guys. It's gonna be
Man,
great.
I'm so sad to have had to take off my pearl tower.
Don't worry, we have another one in the
We
other
could
game.
probably I was gonna say we could probably buy a another amulet of attunement.
I already have one.
Can you only benefit from one?
I don't know.
I wish they would just stack.
It just
rockets
stays
like
forever.
5
We could
different
all
items.
be
Yeah.
artificers, just like attune to 7 items.
It only says while wearing this amulet, you can attune to 1 more item than normal. Oh,
Hey.
than normal. I don't know if they stack.
Well,
Mm.
Yeah, that would make sense because
Well-
it wouldn't be normal.
I still need one because I have my 3 things, but I would like to attune to. What else do I have that I didn't get rid of?
I have
Oh, my hat of disguise. I want to attune to that as well, just for fun.
God.
I love the pearl tower though.
And
I'm
Vrexil
still
can attune
wearing
to
them as earrings, so they're still
lot of
on me. I'm just not attuned.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
attuned to
yeah.
4 right now.
Okay, well
Nice.
you're cool, so whatever.
And actually add the docent.
Okay, so I guess the second week we're all like kind of doing our own thing, but then we're looking at the stuff, right?
We're
Or you
spending-
could wait till the 3rd week to look
About
at
the
everything and just be
teams.
like, hey,
Yeah.
Well, whatever.
let's say
Rex, if
3rd
you have
week.
a
You all,
second, would you put this into my eye and I hand him the docent just to see if he'd like put it in my eye and I can cover it with my cute hair, and then like when I need I can like pull it out like an anime.
don't worry about the appearance. I will be able to take on any appearance of any eye you choose.
Well, now I have 1 purple eye and 1 red eye. How to do that?
I could do that if you want me to. I still
Yeah.
must prove myself to you.
I put it in my eyeball and I keep my other eyeball. Now I've got 2 eyes in jars.
Also probably during the second week, I would think, at some point Moxie would come up to Vrexil and be like, "Hey, you read books, you know, and you know stuff, stuff and things and languages. Do you think you'd be able to like teach me or point me in the direction about learning at least some Sylvan, maybe?"
I don't know Sylvan so much. I can just kind of talk to
Silence,
elves.
knave. I will teach her.
Why did you stop in the middle of your sentence?
I've been silent.
Oh, For a legit moment, I didn't know who was talking, and I was like, "Oh no!"
Silence, knave. I can teach her.
Can you teach me first?
I can teach both of you at the same time.
The voice in my head wants to teach you Sylvan.
By the way, Jacob, remember you can attune up to 6 items at a time. 4 from being level 10, and then an additional 2 from being a 9th level armor.
Oh, that's infused, not attune, I believe.
We already had this conversation, didn't we?
We have this conversation every week.
4
Welcome to the
attunements,
Dungeon Spheres weekly
4
Beacon Attune. You know
attunements,
that's infused.
2 more infusions.
It's like we've never left.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we've had this conversation. I was like, I have an armor. He's 9th level, so I'm like, I need to remember this when I play.
Yeah, I'm attuned now to my winged boots and
Yes.
kind of my other normal stuff, and then yeah, some extra infusions are out there.
I can teach you and her at the same time.
Okay.
How do I communicate?
Which one was it that could read minds? It
Canari.
wasn't this one, was it?
No.
They're both just tall, beautiful women to me. It's hard to tell them apart.
Sure. So does that mean like? Can I give you control over my voice? Are you allowed to like speak through my mouth? Is that how this works?
I am unsure. But I could always try. You might have to be willing.
Vrexil will give it a shot. He will Oh, this could backfire. This is fine. Vrexil will just sort of just focus on the presence that is in his mind and try and pass the reins to this person as much as possible. Just sort of relax and try and give up control over his speech to this person and see what happens.
Vrexil, it feels like you fall backwards into a dark room as you
I cast
sort of
Featherfall.
see. You go to cast Featherfall, but you're like, I'm not actually here. And then you sort of see your eyes from behind your eyes. And then,
God.
Moxie,
All those
you hear
sweet eye
Vrexil's
sounds.
effeminate voice.
Oh.
Hello, Moxie.
Hey.
Okay, I think this is working. His throat is still scarred from the bomb.
I'm sorry. Do you want like
The bomb
help
you
with
made.
that?
What?
Or-
I need some water. Water, please.
Oh, okay. So Moxie would just go get some water and bring it back.
Is Vrexil in charge of his motor functions for drinking the water?
No.
Oh shit. Oh no. Alright.
Oh, that feels so much better.
I imagine. I've never been blown up, but I've died maybe a little bit, so I get it.
Oh. Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
That
Let's
happens.
teach you Sylvan before you die again.
Yeah. Oh wait, hang on. And then she's gonna run and get the constable, and she obviously has the bird with her at all times.
Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Oh, this is. He says that you have been very good to him,
Oh, good. I'm always worried.
and that
Dear
he's confused. Is he the parent, or are you the parent of the bird?
I don't know. I guess maybe after I learn Sylvan, we can discuss that. Cause I don't know. Does he want to be the parent of the bird? Cause that's
he
okay.
He says that he wants joint custody.
Okay. We'll talk. I'll talk to him after. I don't mind that, but
Right. Well, I think I can teach you quite a bit in a week. Vrexil, have a fun time in there. She telepathically says to you.
Vrexil will just try to move his hands.
The fingers twitch a little.
Hand.
Hand.
Singular.
Your fingers twitch a little.
Oh man, this is not good.
I can sense your dismay and your apprehension.
Okay.
How about I'm only out while teaching her, and then I'll switch places once we take breaks.
Never doing this again.
I'm doing this as a favor to you. Don't be ungrateful. Whelp. Okay, Moxie, let's learn.
Okay.
How good are you at reading books?
I mean, I can read.
Okay, verbal instruction it is. The constable will be able to help me. Let's go. And then they float into one of the training rooms.
And now I have a basic rudimentary knowledge of Sylvan.
You have a basic rudimentary knowledge of Sylvan. You cannot write it, you cannot read it, but you can sort of speak it.
Okay.
After a week, there's some switching of control. It has to be willing both ways.
Oh no. Okay. I hate that. So I will say Vrexil would not give up control. Once he gets it back, he's like, nope.
After the week or the first time?
The first time that, yeah.
Oh. You're not gonna let me continue teaching her, or do you want to come to another arrangement?
Are there other arrangements?
Well, this is a room where many things are possible. Maybe you could conjure an image of me in your mind's eye, saying the things that I do at the exact time that I say them, and then cause me to apparate before you through the power of both will, technology, and gumption.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
And it works.
Yeah.
And she looks exactly as you had seen her in the casket. Your eyes still remain the two colors, and then her eyes are also the same two colors but flipped. Somehow it just works like that. Okay. And you see this gnomish woman who seems to have very well-defined arms, a regal look to her face, and a sort of sharpness. Her ears curve a little bit more than Vrexil's do, and her hair is I don't remember if I said what her hair color was, but it's like slicked back into like a tight bun, and it's got some clothes on that are still, like, you can tell that they're pretty expensive, but they're the kind that are meant to withstand the elements. Let's begin. And
I think it's the first time Moxie probably would have been like, "M'lady," and tried to like curtsy bow.
No, that's unnecessary.
Okay.
You're not a gnome.
Okay.
Now,
Okay,
Vrexil,
cool.
on the other hand.
I mean, you're using his body. You could give him a break, right?
You might be right. Now, repeat after me. Squaw.
Squaw.
Very good.
Okay, you are full.
Yeah. And then it happens for a week, and then yeah. Does anyone else want to do anything special on their second week?
I will note. Sorry.
Can add Sylvan to your languages.
Oh, nice. The ancestor that taught about dual wielding was great grandpa Ollie Stoutstone.
Of course it was. You remember instantly. He could forge with two hammers. So he was like,
so fancy, great grandpa Ollie. It's like twice as fast.
Yeah, he could produce things twice as fast back in the day. that's when your name, the Ironbeard name, really took off. And his skills as a dual wielding forge
He's
master,
on the wrong side of that for that to have
Never
happened.
mind
Anyways, yes,
I
that's
think
good.
at some point in the second week, when Vrexil senses that the queen is asleep, which is still confusing to him,
It's almost like it takes her a lot of power to like maintain a connection and such, and then when she's drained, she's just like, no, I need to sleep. Just like Parasite from Parasite.
Vrexil would try and go and find Canari.
That's an anime.
I was thinking Parasite the game.
Canari is spending instead of the week, she just decided to spend the day out. You find her in the kitchen, like rolling out pastry dough. And a bunch of
Quentin
like
is
cute...
willing to offer to help you.
Yeah.
I'm actually a really good cook outside of all of this.
Oh, really? What do you like to make?
Well, all sorts of things, but I am excellent with fish.
Tell you what, once I'm out of here, we can have a dinner date and we can swap recipes, and I can make up to you all of the mean things I say when I'm stressed out. As Canari just slams a rolling pin down at a giant
Did
ball
you
of
say?
dough.
Did you say dinner date?
Moxie's head pops out and her eyebrows are just going.
Well,
New
Canari,
ship, new
I
ship.
I
No,
thought
don't.
that it was
Nope,
unrequited, but
no. No.
oh, I'm making a fool of myself. I'm sorry. I'm going to roll this dough, and we are never going to speak of this again.
I mean, I'm now shipping it. Moxie's slowly sliding back in, shipping.
Vrexil
Look.
just rolled a 19 on stealth. He's gone.
I have a passive perception of 19 and just... Vrexil, no need to stand on ceremony, dear. Come on in. No, just not... We can talk about that at a different time. That's
His face is
not...
so red right now. Rolling dough.
Rexel's
first-
little heart breaks.
No, Vrexil doesn't notice anything towards himself.
No. Is there anything I can do to help?
Do you want to slice up grapefruit? Or we could... what else is there?
That's a little tricky right now.
Right, Tell you what, why
It's rolling
don't
all over
you...
the table.
Canari's gonna hold out a whisk.
There you go.
Yeah, and
Do that.
have him... Yeah.
Excuse me, wash your hands first, Vrexil.
Watch your hand, Rexel.
That was the queen. That was the queen, sorry.
I thought she was asleep. That's the whole reason I'm here.
She woke up.
No.
Okay, so if you thought she was asleep and you wanted her to be asleep, then Quentin will say it.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, Vrexil will wash his hand.
He's just jealous, don't worry.
And then
I run a tight kitchen.
Glad to know something's run well. As Canari's just rolling everything out and just
Wow.
like very... She would just think it in her mind.
No.
Actually, no, she mind links...
to Rexel, just a
Yeah,
bird.
mind links to Vrexil just to like get those petty comments out of the way. But she'll leave it open if he doesn't want to say things out loud in front of Quentin.
yeah, I actually feel like Vrexil would maintain some just sort of blithe small talk about whatever recipes being made at that moment, but would be engaging mentally in a conversation and just sort of say, this Korai spirit of yours that we encountered,
Mhm.
can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, the scrolls my dad gave me, essentially, maybe it was 100 years ago or so, some gateway opened up, or there's some experiment, I forget which. But there was a planar rift opened, and I'll call them good Quori spirits came from the Dreaming Dark and bonded with some of the humans that were across the Magisterium. They bonded to families, and the connection grows stronger as you grow older. It just gets passed down through generations. I think I'm the third or fourth in my family. I mean, not all of them are healers. Some are warriors, others, do a whole variety of things, but she's essentially just a reflection of me. And from what my parents said, they were reflections of them.
And is she in your head? Can you talk to her?
Usually she only really appears when I'm meditating, or I can summon her. She's not constantly there, or if she is, I wouldn't know the difference.
So you kind of have control over when they're there and when they're not there.
As far as I know, because we're bonded. I mean, just in that.
Is that something you can teach me?
Sure, I could give it a shot. I don't know how well it'll work, but I could probably lead you through some of the old meditations my dad had me do when I was younger. Yeah, at least,
nice.
Yeah, might bring you a little bit of peace.
It's been... The person in my head is a little more warlike.
I remember that conversation with her.
And, I mean, you saw the thing that they made and what it did, and I just don't... They keep asking me to build it again and to make more of them, and I really just don't want to do that. But I kind of just don't know how to shut them out. They just kind of seem to be able to drop a snide remark whenever they want to, and I can't shut them up, you know?
Tell me about it, jeez. Fucking live like this.
I'll do my best to help. I think she probably won't go all the way away, but there are ways to work around it, I'm sure. But we can... Let me think on it. I don't know with everything else we have going on, what timeline might be. I mean, these need at least a couple hours, but we could probably get away for a day or two, and I can guide you through that.
That could be nice.
You also need to take care of yourself. You've worked on that new suit of armor for the last week.
Yeah.
Here.
It's kind of bouncing around in my head for a while.
Yeah.
I'm not really any good at meditation usually, you know?
Mm-hmm. Canari finishes rolling out the dough and assembling all these tarts, puts them in the oven and turns to Quentin and says, Quentin, I'm gonna go enjoy the spa. Can you make sure these don't burn? And I'll be back in a couple hours.
Of course.
Canari takes off the apron and just kind of folds it up nicely, and brings Vrexil out to, I think she'll, maybe instead of the temple, I think she goes to kind of a, she enters one of the training rooms, and it's not the Astral Sea, but it's just kind of almost a demi-plane of just like pure night sky of just kind of floating in space with soft music and incense kind of going on in the background. And she'll summon her core eye spirit with there for a chance to kind of walk through that meditation cycle and kind of finding balance with Vrexil.
Vrexil doesn't make it more than about 30 seconds before he asks some sort of clarifying question about, should you be breathing like this? Like, should I be, like, is it like a keep your eye, you know, like just every...
Vrexil, you need to shut your mind off every now and then. I know why meditation doesn't work for you. Your brain does not take a break, and neither do you. So, I did this in the wrong order. We're gonna go get massages, and then we're gonna come back and do this. And Canari, like, morphs the training room and just brings all the spa attendants and dryads in, just so they can prolong this period. And she tells them to fucking relax.
I think after a while that message kind of hits home and actually sinks in after a while. And at some point, like, probably, like, you know, head down in, like, the massage chair, you just kind of hear Vrexil not facing you just be like, Canari?
Mm-hmm.
I know we can't really talk to home right now.
Mm-hmm.
The next time you call home, can you tell him I'm sorry?
Tell who?
Your parents, just for...
Why would you need to be sorry?
They worked really hard to keep me, you know, and I kind of threw it away.
The Dryad picks up Canari's leg and starts massaging her toes. In between
Look,
her toes.
it's not... You made a noble sacrifice, and I brought you back. I did want to kill you again in that moment, but my parents don't heal people because they deserve it. Deserving is a notion that doesn't really apply to healing. If we quantified every person that deserved healing, you would end up with a system that only favored those that could have access to us, or those that could make time to do it. Deserving, when it comes to healing, gets messy. People are messy. Decisions in life are messy. This whole thing is a mess. You don't... They wanted to make sure that you could read another book. That you didn't go before your time. I did the same thing. You weren't meant to go this quickly. Couldn't save all of you, but hey, at least the new armor suits you.
The Dryad takes their fingers and pushes in the center of Vrexil's back, and you just hear this loudest crack. As suddenly the posture that Vrexil's always like had is suddenly like corrected.
Oh.
For a time.
It's a nice spiritual balance.
And then you awaken the Avatar state.
Eventually Canari like brings them back to that twilight room and just says, when you're reading, you enter in sort of a zone, a flow, or when you're working on your armor where you can just go. That's what you need to find here. What my meditation looks like is going to be very different from yours, and it's very, very different from what Moxie does.
sleeping. Moxie sleeps during meditation.
Mhm.
All right, she just meditates other times.
Maybe it isn't so much quieting the other voice in your head as it is finding your own and making sure that it's maybe not louder, but more present. Try again.
And Vrexil makes it about 3 minutes before he kind of like. And then like 5 minutes, kind of just like.
It's okay, Vrexil. You remind me of me when I was a toddler.
Also, I'm imagining
Or Moxie now.
if Moxie tries to meditate in the training room, she conjures a version of Hawkins that sits next to her while meditating.
Yeah.
And every time she's about to fall asleep, he like
He
punches
just
her.
slaps her.
Yeah.
He just slaps her whenever to wake her up.
I have
Like
to
he
make my
used to.
master to stare disapprovingly at me so I'll meditate.
Exactly.
But yeah, Vrexil eventually gets longer and longer before he opens his eyes every time, and eventually makes it a decent chunk of time before something interrupts us where he has to go.
I think Canari just, at the end of that, just pulls him into a really big hug. Of course.
She smells good.
Mm.
Oh,
Good morning.
yeah. Hi.
I think it's morning.
Yes, no good. Yeah.
Well, I'm awake now. How's your Sylvan?
Vrexil will respond in Sylvan.
Wonderful.
Good morning. How did you sleep?
Guten Tag.
Mm.
It's German.
Sylvan is just
Funnily enough.
Hey.
Zu Hause liegt der Märzen. It's fine.
Oh. Why do you feel so relaxed?
just trying on a new mentality for size.
All
It
right.
probably won't last. It's fine. Don't get worried about it. It's fine.
Just. As long as I'm in your body, I hope that you aspire more for yourself. It's the least you could do.
And can Canari see this like face journey that Vrexil's going on and just mind
Probably you saw like he was just at his like most relaxed point ever, and then suddenly stress.
Canari pops into the mind links with the queen and just says,
Hey,
"Hi, my dear.
Hello.
Hi. A couple of ground rules if you're gonna cohabitate with my friend. I've known him longer than I've known you. You
And?
have no reason to be as snarky to him as you have been.
Am I being snarky?
You come across as quite snarky and quite intense. I would expect that from royalty, especially one from a different plane.
Oh,
Further,
that might be.
he is a good friend of mine. I
Mhm.
don't want you belittling him or thinking that you are superior in any way, shape, or form. You are a gnome, and you can be dismissed as easily as any other creature on this plane. You being here is in defiance of one of my god's tenets, that we guide souls to the afterlife when it is their time. I've saved souls that went prematurely, but I have no hesitation in sending souls that are ready to pass on. Your time here is temporary, as is mine. Please refrain from being a dick. Do I make myself clear?
She doesn't respond. But Vrexil, you feel this this almost like pang of guilt and sadness inside you.
You are not evil. But do try to be good. And Canari ends the mind link and just smiles at Vrexil and walks out the door. And goes and gets a grapefruit tart.
I believe I might have unintentionally been unkind to you.
It's okay. I can't imagine being in your position. There's a lot I need to share with you about our people and what's happened since what I gather is your time.
All right. I would love to listen. But also, please remind your friend that if she tries to harm me, it might harm you, and I don't want that.
Understood. And Vrexil will spend the rest of the meditation just meditating on the history of his people and using that process to share what he knows, which is fairly extensive on this particular subject, with the queen.
She never interrupts once. You almost hear a mental like scribbling on something, even though there isn't anything to scribble on. Unless she's taking notes, but she can't. Now, the second day / week comes to a close, and then we will come back next week on the 13th to go over the other team's performances, maybe learn a few things about them, and then maybe hop back out into level 4, otherwise known as Battle City.
Hey, Dev, can I make a suggestion?
What?
Viewers should maybe follow the Twitter, and then
That's also
the team, the other team, stuff could be posted there, and then we don't have to do it for 3 hours next week.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
So you want me to?
We can put it in.
tell
You can put it in the Discord too, but
in
like,
Discord.
but on
Yeah,
Twitch too,
yeah.
as like a hey, here's what's going on with the other teams and what they did, because just talking about it, that's kind of
do that.
boring.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I like the flavor of it.
I
but
know,
then
we're
that's
all
for me.
interested.
Mhm.
We're all
Yeah,
I'm
no, I can do
super
something.
maybe
I
do
can
like
do
a-
something clever
Information
and
for
fun.
us,
Yeah.
but
All right. So
maybe not too
if-
thrilling.
that's what we're gonna do. We can start prepping. I'll start prepping for hopping into level 4, Battle City. So maybe before we end, Quentin will gather you all together. Here is what you should know for level 4, otherwise known as Battle City. You must find one other team in Battle City and either eliminate them entirely, or, and this is a change from previous years because there was a lot of complaints and lawsuits, either eliminate them or force them to surrender, either by them verbally surrendering, an individual decision, mind you, or you render them all unconscious.
Oh crap.
Any who lose their battle and are unconscious or have surrendered will just be simply teleported away. But you are still allowed to kill.
And if we unconscious them but don't kill, we don't get their treasure, correct?
That
That
is the
kind of-
only caveat to this. You don't get the reward for eliminating another team if you do not, in fact, kill all of them. Sounds a little...
From what you know, do you think the teams are gonna all be up for blood?
No. I believe that they will Some may simply try to overpower or force the other team's hand. Some will try to do a direct confrontation. Others may be lying in ambush. Each team has their own different way of succeeding. Yours is probably chaos,
I resent that.
but it works, seemingly.
Oh,
There are other threats in the city that you do need to worry about, and you will appear in the city at any random location. Once you meet a team, you will not be able to leave the area in a 300 by 300 foot square, or 300 by 300 foot cube area, and neither of you can leave that area until they're defeated, which means that the battleground could be any different type of scenario.
for teams that are incapacitated or forced into surrendering, are they ejected from the sphere, or are they just...
That is correct.
Great. And if we find another team, then we win, then we move on?
What's the
Oh.
ultimate goal?
Oh, yes. I don't think I made that clear. You find one other team. You only have to defeat one.
Okay, but what happens, like, is the idea that once you beat one, you and that team are out of the arena fight, or you can keep going if you win?
If you win, you face the Exit Guardian and try to move to level 5.
Great. Perfect.
If you lose, you are ejected from the sphere permanently. But
Does this
you're
play
only
out like
ejected if
other
the
levels?
entire team surrenders. If only one surrenders and then the rest of the team wins, you get to stay and face the team who just saw your cowardice in action. And Umbran, you had a question.
Is this like other levels where there'll be challenge rooms and checkpoints, or is this straight battles?
That, I believe, there are no challenge rooms. Not even random ones, such as when you were on the ship and it just randomly appeared for you. I believe it's just find another team as quick as possible, defeat them as quick as possible, fight the Exit Guardian, and move on.
So there's no access to a checkpoint either then.
Does not seem like it.
Alright, we'll just have to carry all this gold with us for a bit.
And all
For a
these.
while.
Wait, can we like have you take all of the books with you?
I could.
Okay, because I don't know that we want to schlep those through the.
And you want them sent to your mother or the Historical Society of Gnomology?
Our library, if that's okay.
All right. Consider it done.
Thank you. Do we get to keep the flying carpet?
Yes. Well, it is mine, technically. So, Mr. Quentin here gonna take it.
That's just Vrexil's new signal whenever like the queen is talking. He's just kind of like,
Right.
Alright, so Quentin, you have Randy, the Griffin, and you have all the books.
Yes.
Is there anything else we need to leave with Quentin?
Oh,
You need to leave your frog, your crab.
Does the constable like? Because now that I can kind of talk to the constable, did we sort of? He'll go with the griffin, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe that if I were to go into the city with you, I would be a hindrance, and that the other teams may use me against you.
good point. Also, I just don't want you in that kind of environment. I think you deserve better. And I don't know how many rocks I'm gonna be able to find. So, you'll watch after Mango and
Our son.
that sounds weird. It's a son too, really? Okay. Well, that's good to know. Glad I went with my gender neutral name. And,
I
yeah,
will remember you fondly
yeah,
if anything bad were to happen.
yeah. If I don't come get you, Canari's gonna come get you, right, Canari? Yeah, Canari will. It's fine.
You say it in Sylvan, so Canari's
Yeah,
like, what?
yeah.
It's like
Canari
Yeah.
Canari offers a grapefruit tart to the constable, even though I know he doesn't like it.
No, he's good, thanks.
Oh,
And then
do you want it?
Yes, and then she shoves it in her mouth.
Very tart. I will
Keep
leave
talking.
Phineas the crab with Quentin. It's a crab. I don't know, fucking kid, take care of it.
I do specialize in seafood.
The kid
You-
is
listen.
taking care of the crab.
If you hurt the crab, we'll find you. It will do such horrible things to you won't be able to imagine.
I believe you. Phineas
Good.
will be perfectly fine in my hands.
I will keep Jerome so he may see the horrors of war, so that they may change his opinion on. Not gonna
I
like
believe
war
I
too
will
much
learn
after this, bud.
I believe I will learn many battle strategies in the coming event.
Yes, it's gonna scar your tiny frog brain, and then you'll make a change for peace. Believe me. Yeah. So I took the crab off, but Jerome stays.
And we could still theoretically do more, like,
We
after
still have another
this
day. Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
We're not.
But at least we have all
necessarily
the
have to leave
logistical
right
stuff, so we can just
Yeah.
go straight into 4. Like, we know who's staying behind. Cause
Mhm.
yeah.
Well, now we shall conclude this episode of Dungeon Sphere. So if you have not followed us now or in the future, do so, or we will come to your house, break your windows,
No, we won't.
and
We
yell
won't
at your
do that.
dog profanities.
I would
No.
never do that to
If
anyone.
you are watching, or if you feel so inclined, you may also subscribe.
Someone's been paying attention to my closer.
If you don't subscribe, there may or may not be some satanic rituals performed.
I will do
Uh,
unspeakable
Not
things
in
to
your
you.
favor.
I mean, I do that, but that's just because it's my church. So
Like, we do that in our free time, but, you know, we'll come and we'll do it for you, too.
yeah, if you really want it, I guess.
Oh, also, if you have any like ghosts or spirits or anything that you need like talk, giving a stern talking to or anything, like we could probably help you out.
I know a guy.
I'm available.
Follow us on Twitter so Dev can tell you about all the rest of the teams. We'll see everyone next week. Have a great rest of your evening. Bye.
Bye.